York Giant fans. I hope everybody's ready for day one of the NFL draft. I had a dream last night, Baddog, that we ended up with Kayvon Thibodeau at 5th overall and Evan Neal at number 7. And if that were to play out today, I would be beyond thrilled. Like
wow.
I hope that happens. I hope that happens. So
I'll tell you what, that had to be a dream. Because there's no way that the Giants could possibly end up with the consensus 1 and 2 pick in the draft at 5 and 7. But the ironic thing is, I had that same dream that they took Kayvon Thibodeau at 5 and Evan Neal all the way at 7.
No way.
Yeah. I don't know how you had the picks going.
Great minds think alike, man. It was fun. I dreamt up this 5-hour stream and everything else, and they all fell right in our lap. I even made a video in my dream, and I just hope it all plays out the exact same way that it did last night, and we'll see today how it plays out for the New York Giants in the day one of the NFL draft. Let me pinch myself. Am I in a dream within a dream? Is this like Inception? Like I don't know what just happened last night.
That was unbelievable. I mean, that just, like you said, it could not have worked out any better for us. Stingley going to 3 really made me believe we were going to get Neal and Thibodeau. I didn't know if they were going to do that. Like, I didn't know if they were going to take Neal first and maybe miss out on Thibodeau. But when they took Tibbs, I said, yeah, I was pumped because I knew we were getting one of those guys. I knew we were getting Ike Ekwonu, Charles Cross, or Evan Neal. I knew we were going to have again, Cross was the least of my, I would have been fine with him, but he was the least of my favorite of those 3 guys. I'm like, we're going to get Icky or Neal. When they took Ekwonu, like, we got to get Evan Neal. Man, I mean, I don't know what to say. And it's funny because, we have to always throw couple of jabs at the Eagle fans. And I had some Eagle fan come on there and go, oh, you're I forgot if it was on the reaction, like the live stream comments after the fact, like, oh, you're a big man. We got AJ Brown. Man, I don't give a damn that they got AJ Brown. I don't care about that. It's just funny. I went back and watched Philly 500's reaction, and it was funny. He's like, he goes, oh, the Giants would be really stupid if they don't take Evan Neal here. Oh, my God, they'd be so stupid. They did not want to see it, Thibodeau. And then after we got a both, he goes, man, that was pretty good. He couldn't even say anything. And I told you when we were doing our videos and we kind of muted ourselves to do the videos, I said Mark Holmes would probably be pissed because he's probably trying to get a reaction. And sure enough, it went in there and he's like, what is these guys are bitches? Why are they not less? They don't want us to hear what they're doing. They don't want to see it. I'm like, bro. But then he's on there and I come on, I go, sorry guys, we mute ourselves to make the reaction. He goes, oh, that's why they did it. And then their pick, oh, it's hilarious. They suck. Screw Dallas.
Oh, Cowboys fans can't be happy today. Cowboys fans and Eagles fans have every right to be happy. You have every right to be excited if you got AJ Brown. But like you said, as a Giants fan, doesn't bother me. I got 2 long-term pieces. I'm not, obviously I want to win every year, but my primary focus is not about next year. It's about building the team for the next 3, 4, 5 years. And the Giants got arguably the 2 best pieces they possibly could get in the first round of this year's draft. Obviously, a major need still, assuming that we're going to lose Bradbury, either it be this year or next year. I doubt we're going to be able to keep him, even if we keep him for this year. Going forward after this is the corner. And I think the Giants still need to address that. The secondary safety corner, we lost 2 safeties as well. So I think that's got to be the primary focus day 2. Maybe they even get 2 pieces in that secondary. Obviously, you could go interior offensive line as well at some point. I don't think at 36. I think at 36, you're looking at corner safety or Nakobe Dean, the linebacker, which, a lot of people I'd pegged to go in the first round.
Yeah, that would be amazing. I'm actually surprised. I just wanted to change that real quick, just in case we had the same problem we had yesterday. I'm actually pretty surprised that Nakobe Dean did not go to the Patriots.
Yeah.
I really thought he was going to go to the Patriots. We got a good crowd here, Chris. There's 400 people in here already. We love you guys.
Yeah.
Giants fans are so happy. We should be happy. And like I said, we still have a lot of work to do. Tonight is very important. There's still, like Chris said, there's still really good pieces there. Possibility we trade Bradbury, maybe get another second or third rounder. We have an early second and early third and the mid third. You never know what we could do. Joe Shane may trade up and take a couple of those thirds or a third and a fourth and move back up into the second. but we still have needs. There's still really good players on the board. And, we were talking a little bit before we went live and pretty much said it'd be hard to mess the draft up from here, but you want to keep going. You still want to get the best pieces. If they could add a guy like Kobe T.
And the other thing that's a possibility, depending on what happens with the first 3 picks, we kind of sit in a pretty good position if a team does like one of these quarterbacks, Matt Corral, Malik Willis, whoever, to potentially trade down. And maybe you trade down 7, 8, 9, 10 spots. Like you said, get an extra draft pick. So I'm sure Shane's going to take all that into account. I watched his press conference last night. He said that they have 4 players on their board that they love. We're picking 4th in the second round. So if we stay there, we're going to get one of them. So I'm looking forward to it.
Might be the 4 that I have in the poll. So guys
Might
keep
be
voting on the poll, and we'll see what we do. Thank you guys and girls for being here. We appreciate it. Mr. Lopez, thank you, brother. He says, damn, I had that same dream. A lot of Giants fans had that dream last night. Duran, thank you for the super chat. KT cut an 80s wrestling promo during his interview. Nice.
Yeah, I love this. I love this walk up to the stage. That was awesome. Yeah. With him and the kid. And then his interview afterwards. Yeah, you could tell, like they said, Thibodeau's definitely got a personality. And as long as he produces, New York is going to absolutely love that guy.
Oh, God, yes.
And he's going to love New York and hopefully comes here and helps this defense. And you think about this front 7. I said it on Twitter because I was thinking about it. If we ever get a guy like Nakobe Dean, I mean, all of a sudden Leonard Williams is going to be a better player because now you got more help off the edge. Dexter Lawrence
will be better.
Azeez Ojulari, Kayvon Thibodeau. You had a guy like Nakobe Dean in the middle, or a safety, a Petre, a Brisker, and in the box safety.
Yeah,
I mean, our defense could be pretty good next year.
Yeah, our defense is pretty decent anyway. It was a bend but don't break, but now we have. See, this is the thing. I don't know how Patrick Graham's defense was. Maybe he felt like we didn't have the pass rushers. Maybe he felt like these guys couldn't play man. I don't know why we didn't blitz a lot, but we couldn't get there without blitzing. I think you add a guy like Thibodeau. Now you can't get there without a blitz, but we know Wink is incredibly aggressive. So if you add a guy like Nakobe Dean to go with Azeez Ojulari and Kayvon Thibodeau, oh my God. I mean, you don't know where the hell it's going to be coming
I'll also mention, I saw Jay Zach mention it. A lot of Giants fans are on this train as well. Leo Chanel's a possibility as well. That could help, in the front 7 department. So Giants got a lot of options, and
they really do.
I'm excited. I think there's like 8 guys that if they take, most Giant fans are going to be excited about it.
Yeah. Duran, you didn't have to. Thank you, brother. You didn't have to super chat again. I knew what you meant. Listen, it's early in the morning. We were up late. We were partying. We're going to do it again tonight. Make sure you guys subscribe to the Entertainment Target Sports if you haven't. Like I said, link down below. I think in the description actually says what a night, and then his description, and then his link to his channels there. But again, come over. We're gonna have more fun tonight. We'll watch who we pick. We're gonna get some great picks, and of course, we'll make fun of Dallas and Philadelphia. Don't worry about it.
We'll probably go live at like 6:40. Second round, we'll go live maybe like 20 minutes before the start, and really excited to see what happens tonight with the New York Giants.
Yes, me too. What a night, man. Wilkie, thank you, brother. Appreciate it. He says, congrats. I think y'all had a top 3 draft last night. The only teams I feel drafted better are the Jets and Baltimore.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what Baltimore did. I know Baltimore traded back. I know, they got picked 20, whatever. They got the Cardinals pick, and they ended up getting the D tackle from Georgia, who was a good player. And who did they get at 15? I can't remember. I can't remember
who they got at 15 either.
But
I know the Jets. I know the Jets did well. The Jets got Garrett Wilson sauce and traded back up for Jermaine Johnson. They got Jermaine Johnson, right?
Yeah, they got Jermaine Johnson.
They had a good draft. I actually went to Jets 24/7 like afterwards and just made a little comment. So I thought you guys had a great draft.
Oh, they did.
I thought both New York teams did great. So it's good to see. It's good to see. But
they got Kyle Hamilton. So the Ravens did have a very good draft.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. This was a mock. I don't remember somebody in the chat will say it.
Yeah. But like I said, I'm pretty sure 95% of Giants fans are pretty damn satisfied with that last night. That was amazing. Yuri, thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Remember when we were interested in Patrick Queen? Then Wink Martindale had him, so keep an eye on Dean.
Okay, so now I know what they got. They got Kyle Hamilton and they got Linderbaum. That's what it was.
Oh,
they didn't get the D tackle. They got Linderbaum. So they had a really good draft. They got Linderbaum at 25. Yeah, they had a really good draft.
Yeah. Chris, thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Can't wait to see Ojulari, Leo, Roche, Tibbs attacking quarterbacks. And perhaps Dean. Perhaps.
Yeah, or another defensive piece.
Yes, you never know.
Yeah.
That one guy says all the Giants need is a quarterback. We're not getting that this year. But next year, you guys are going to get your wish.
We'll see. I mean, we'll see. Depends on where we're picking. Depends on how Jones plays.
Yeah.
You got to take it 1 year at a time. 1 year at a time.
That's true. That's true. Art Van Delay, thank you so much, brother. I appreciate it. I wouldn't be mad with Dean, but there was enough secondary depth in the third. Or is there enough secondary depth in the third to justify not taking Booth or Brisker than Leo Chanel?
I'd be surprised if Leo Chanel gets to the third round. I know Bobby had him in his mock draft, I think, going in the third. No, he might have had him going in the second. I can't remember. I don't think he'll get to the third round, but anything's possible. Players drop that you don't expect.
Right.
Art, personally, I know the fan base wants Dean, and I'll be happy if they take Dean. We haven't taken a linebacker in forever, and Blake Martinez is not going to be here much longer, so it's certainly a need. But I'm with you. I'm actually leaning secondary with a guy like Petre, with a guy like Booth, with a guy like Brisker. I think that's where my head's at for this pick.
Yeah, we'll see. It may be best player available for them, and maybe they feel they can't move Bradbury, and they just have to move some money around, and they're, I guess it'll depend on what they do with Brad. I think Bradbury has a lot to do with it, but like you said with Blake Martinez, he's not going to be here much longer, but neither is Bradbury. Bradbury may have to play out the year if the Giants don't just get rid of him, but he won't be here next year. So it's probably the same thing. But yeah, I mean, I'll be honest. I would love Nakobe Dean. I think the smarter pick is to go in the secondary.
That'll end in about 3 more rings, but that's Dave Gettleman.
Okay, that's
Dave Gettleman. He still calls me.
That's ridiculous. Tell him to go take a flying leap. Gettleman's calling you saying, well, Chris, why didn't you give me the advice to take a guy like Thibodeau and Neal? Oh, no, he's calling you to say you should be thanking me for getting that 7th pick. Blake, thank you, brother. Really appreciate it, my man. He says, I think the pick at 36 has to be a corner if we're going off a need. Booth or Gordon have to be in play. I like Dean, but I'd rather get the young corner.
Yeah, well, Blake, I think it's a situation kind of like the first round where right tackle and edge were, 2 huge needs where BPA kind of met need. I think it's similar here. A lot of the guys that are at the top of, I think, most people's draft boards are in the secondary right now, where we're picking. So being that that's a major need of ours, I think that's where I'm leaning that they'll go, but who knows? They may go another avenue. They may go wide receiver. I mean, it all depends on their draft board, but I'm with you. I'm leaning that we're going to go with a corner or safety.
Yeah, I agree. And again, if there's 4 guys that they really like and all 4 of them land there at 36, there is a possibility they trade back and get more draft capital. But there's definitely some good secondary pieces here at the beginning of the second round that we could certainly use. And, I mean, well, he nailed it. So whatever he does to me is going to be good. But I agree. I think the secondary is probably most important at this point. Although, again, I'm a huge Nakobe Dean fan. We have not taken our Georgia Bulldog yet. But, that's going to be James Cook in the 3rd round. It will be Jake Camarda, undrafted free agent punter. It will be Jake Camarda. I'm going to speak that into existence. We need a punter. Camarda's good. He can also kick in a pinch, though. That's the thing. He's also a place kicker.
Yeah.
So in case Graham the Togano ever did something, which let's hope he doesn't, he was our best player last year. Let's hope that doesn't happen. But I'm just excited. Chris, man, I'm so pumped up, man. I can't believe that we got the 2 guys that we wanted, man.
Yeah, you could. Any Giants fans that upset after last time, I don't know what to tell you. Like, I had one guy on Twitter tell me that he was really upset with what the Giants did. I was like, what did you want? Like, when you, other than potentially trading down, but the evidence shows you that there was not a trade down available that fans wanted. We weren't getting a future first round pick. One quarterback went inside the top 20.
Yeah, we saw the Lions move from 32 to 12, and
they didn't even get they didn't even
20 spots.
So the trade down to me wasn't an option. And then what else could you have wanted at 5 and 7? I mean, you want to argue Jermaine Johnson. Jermaine Johnson almost went out of the first round, which was probably the next edge on most Giant fans' boards. You want to argue Kyle Hamilton? Kyle Hamilton went 14th, and we weren't in love with taking a safety. You can't complain about Evan Neal. So I don't know how anybody could be upset with what the Giants landed after both Sauce and Stingley were off the board.
I agree. That is insane. Manny, thank you, brother. Appreciate it, bros. Leo Chanel, for the love of God, please. Well, that's the one thing with the poll there, guys. I could only put 4 people in there. There really was like 7 names. I wanted to put Chanel in there. I wanted to put Ojabo in there, but I could only fit 4. So those are just the first 4 that I kind of saw. They might have been the best 4 available or something, as far as like Mel Kiper's board. So I just put those 4 in there. Like they were the top 4, but like the top 4 that we would be looking at. You know, there might have been something else in there, and I was like, I don't think like an edge, like the kid from Penn State, BKD, or whatever.
Oh,
like,
yeah, him.
Yeah, however you say his last name. So we weren't going to take him, obviously. So something like that, like I left off the board. But G-Man, thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Thanks so much. It's finally caught a live stream. Love you guys. Let's go, Big Blue. Thank you, buddy.
What's going on, G-Man? I see D Nice in the chat saying that best player available no matter what. I agree with you. That's what I said. That's what I want. I just so happen to think that I think a corner or safety may be the best player available on the Giants board. And it's coincidental that I think that's our biggest need right now. So I think there's good enough prospects at those positions to justify taking them at 36.
Blake, thank you, brother. Appreciate it. If Booth wasn't injured, he would have been top 20. It's very possible we go that route.
He was supposed to be a first-round pick. I mean, most people had him going in the first round, so easily could go that route.
Yeah, definitely. And we talked about there's a couple of guys that should have been in the first round that they always seem to slip. And 1 year was McKinney. Maybe it is. Maybe Booth is the guy this year. I have no problem with anything in the secondary at all.
Yeah.
Chislo, thank you, brother. Really appreciate it, man. What's up, y'all? Excited as F this year.
Can't wait, Chisolo, man. Thank you so much for being here, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, and again, thank you so much, brother. Really appreciate it. I'm hoping we get Booth or Dean. Either is fine.
I think that's most Giant fans right now. That's most people's top corner on the board still, and most people's top linebacker. So I think they're in my top 4 for sure right now in terms of guys that I want the New York Giants to select. So I think that's a lot of Giants fans right now.
This is a great question. Blake, thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Question: does our best player give Kayvon Thibodeau his number? That would be Graham Gano.
Yeah. I'm sure they'll have the conversation. We'll see. I'm sure they'll have the conversation.
Yeah. I think Gano will give it up.
If you want, and maybe he wants to go with more of a traditional number for an edge rusher. So
maybe he does.
We'll see.
I like the fact that Strahan reached out to him.
Mm-hmm.
I like the fact that Strahan reached out to him. I think that's good. Again, I think you kind of see it just feels different, Chris, with this regime in the front office, in the coaching. It does. It feels different. You know what I mean? Like they had Sam come up there and make they did the thing with the Make-A-Wish, and they just, Michael Strahan reaching out to Thibodeau, and I don't know. There's it's a different feel. It's more like a feel-good team where before maybe it was just Gettleman's black cloud aura that he brought over the franchise, whatever it was, whatever the hell was going on. We had all these arguments and crap on the sideline, and Joe Judge getting in a fight with Mark Colombo, and you had the whole Jason Garrett thing. Like it never felt right. You know what I mean? There was always some kind of underlying problems. It seemed like those guys didn't enjoy playing football at all. And I don't know, it just feels different this time. Maybe I'm just hoping it is, but it seems like it's a different. You can kind of see the storm clouds moving on.
Yeah, I see Marty say Thibodeau 92. That ain't happening. That's retired.
Yeah, that's Strahan.
That's Strahan's number. But as far as Thibodeau goes, I mean, the feeling that I got last night when the Giants selected him was, based off of all the pre-draft stuff that we heard, which I didn't buy too much into, but based off the pre-draft stuff that we heard about character concerns and the combine and how he handled that, does he love the game? That didn't feel like a player in the prior regime that the New York Giants would have selected, especially that early in the draft. So, yeah, I do think it's a different feel around the New York Giants organization right now that, they're not necessarily shying away from somebody that's, is not a choir boy. So,
Right.
and not to say that I think there's any like legitimate concerns with Thibodeau. I think that was overblown, but it gave me that feel last night when they took him.
Yep. And I'm glad that they took him. It gave me a good feeling. They took him. Johnny, thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Y'all are the best. Solid draft for you guys. Daniel Jones still stinks. So does Jalen Hurts. And the guys still have to translate on the field. Do or die for Hurts and Jones. You're right about that, Johnny. On both of them, you're right.
For sure.
And you're right. It does have to translate to the field. Absolutely. 100% correct.
I mean, you guys got Hurts, AJ Brown, like, and you drafted him Devontae Smith last year. Like,
Yep.
If he doesn't excel this year, you're probably looking at a quarterback.
Yep. Yeah. As a lot of teams are.
Yeah.
Nick, thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Great watching the draft with you guys. So pumped. We appreciate you watching. Yeah, it's good.
Appreciate it, Nick, man. Thank you so much, buddy.
Pumped up, baby. Rob, thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Says the Eagles had a great night, too. That they stink.
I don't know. I mean, we'll see. We'll see what I think. Obviously, they improved their team for next year.
Yes.
But the draft is not just about 1 year. So we'll see. We'll see. They paid him a lot of money. They gave up basically more than half their draft to get 2 players. So we'll see. We'll see, what the impact is in 2-3 years down the line. But for next year, yeah, the Eagles are obviously a much better team. I mean, they added a top 10 wide receiver in football. They got a guy who was one of my favorite players in the draft, Jordan Davis. They did give up a good amount to get him.
They did.
But yeah, I mean, next year the Eagles will be a better football team based off of last night.
They must have really thought that the Ravens were going to take Jordan Davis because they moved up 2 spots.
Oh, they 100% did, and everybody did. Everybody had the Ravens taking Davis.
That's pretty crazy. But I want to needle them. Am I drinking already? No, Rio. This is soda. This is soda. Yeah, I'm definitely soda. I need caffeine this morning because, like I told Chris, I didn't go to bed till I was so pumped up. I probably didn't go to bed until 2:30, and then I'm up at 6:30 to get my kid ready for school, and I get him out the door. My wife takes him, and then I probably laid down about 7:15, 7:30 to go back to sleep. I probably didn't fall asleep till 8:15, and then I woke up at 9:30, so I didn't sleep much. So I'm like, oh God, I need the caffeine. I need the caffeine big time. What a night. D4.
Red Bulls before the draft tonight too. I'm gonna need that caffeine.
Yeah, I might need a nap.
Yeah.
I think the old man needs a nap before. Yeah, maybe all y'all need to take a nap a couple hours. Get pumped up, man. Again, 3 picks tonight, maybe more, maybe less, maybe a trade. You got to tune in. Day 2 is just as fun as day 1.
I keep seeing people ask about Malik Willis. I've seen 30 people ask about it.
I love him.
We'll see. That's all I can say. I mean, am I going to flip out if they take him? No. Do I think they will? No. Do I think they should? No. But that's just my opinion on the matter. But it's possible we take him. I think there's a ton of holes on this team. And the New York Giants, obviously, and the entire league, obviously is not super high on him to the point where they felt like he was an elite prospect. Otherwise, teams would have been trading up for him. They would have drafted him in the first round. He's a project quarterback with a high ceiling. So if the Giants take him, I'll understand it, especially at 36. There's no real financial commitment there. But obviously, there's flaws to his game. His mechanics are poor. A lot of people say he's a one-read quarterback.
He does stare down receivers.
The athletic traits are very high, though. He's mobile. He's got a strong arm. So if they take him, they take him. Do I think they will? No. I think we have a lot of needs on this football team, a lot of holes. I think the Giants are going to try to fill them. And if they need a quarterback, they'll go after one next year. I don't see it happening. Like I said last night during the draft, it reminds me of Geno Smith. Geno Smith on draft night, most people had him going 10, 11, 12. He just kept dropping and dropping and dropping. And then the Jets ended up taking him in the second round. Usually when quarterbacks drop that far, there's a reason for it. Not to say he can't turn out to be great. He could.
Yeah. Russell Wilson came out of the third round.
So. And I also don't think it's the ideal spot for him. I think Malik Willis ideally goes to a team where he sits behind a veteran quarterback on a good football team where he could learn. The 3 teams picking ahead of the Giants, I think, are ideal spots for him. The Tennessee Titans, you could sit behind Tannehill. The Tampa Bay Bucks, Tom Brady's 5 million years old, and he retired this year before the year started, so he's not going to be there much longer. And the Minnesota Vikings with Kirk Cousins, who I don't think is the long-term solution there. Not to mention he would inherit a great offense if we were to take over for him. Those spots make a lot more sense. I don't think the Giants, for me at least, are an advanced enough football team to take a second or third round flyer on a quarterback. Somebody mentioned Russell Wilson today to me on Twitter. If the Giants were built like that team was fully equipped.
Yes,
Russell Wilson, a third, fourth round quarterback, was able to come in to a team that was ready to compete day one. They had a great secondary. They had a great defense. They had a great ground attack. So they had a complete football team. The Giants are nowhere near that. I am not in the business right now of taking a flyer at the quarterback position when you have as many needs as this football team has. We need safety help. We need corner help. We need a linebacker. We need interior offensive
running back
help.
probably.
We need a wide receiver.
Tight end.
So for me, I'm not in love with the pick. Will I scream if they do it? No. But I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah. When Detroit traded him 32-12, I thought that's what that was for.
Yeah.
I really thought that was, and when they didn't take him, I'm like, wow. Then he's going to go to Pittsburgh. And when Pittsburgh took Pickett, I'm like, he ain't going in the first round. So, yeah, there's a reason he didn't go in the first round. And again, his ceiling is high. He has a lot of great physical tools. He needs a lot of development. You can't develop a quarterback on a team with as many holes as the New York Giants. I think that's been Chris and my.
You can, but it's
right. But you're going to stunt it. I mean, it's going to
it's not a very high probability. His probability of success is much higher with the first three teams I mentioned.
Yes. But that's not, if you're rebuilding, I don't think, I don't know. I know you want to rebuild with a quarterback, but I think you need the team in place first. I think Gettleman kind of did this backwards. We were not built for a running back. You want a running back quarterback. Yeah. And we didn't have any offensive line. Now, if Gettleman would have built that line first and then waited a couple of years and ended up with a different, I'm not saying, even if you just want to say Daniel Jones, if the team was better built around Daniel Jones when he came in, he would have had a better chance to succeed. Would he have succeeded? Maybe would, maybe wouldn't have. He would have definitely had a better chance. He'd be better than he is now. That I can probably guarantee. But how good would he have been anyway? And that's the thing with Malik Willis. Yeah, you could sit there and go, oh, he's at 36, but what are we going to do with him? We have three quarterbacks. Who's he going to sit behind for the year? Jones, Tyrod Taylor. What are we going to do with him? And I just, it doesn't make sense to take a quarterback.
It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. I mean, maybe I'll be proven wrong. Crazy things happen every year in the rip. But like Eagles fans obviously were saying Jalen Hurts isn't going to happen, and it did. So it could happen. But
I think they wanted rid of what's his face though. I think they knew Wentz was
Carson Wentz. Yeah. I mean, it could happen, but do I expect it to? No. And do I think it's the ideal scenario to take him? No. I mean, yeah, I think he is a quarterback that has upside. There's no doubt about it. He's got physical traits, but I think there's 3, 4, 5 quarterbacks in next year's draft that have just as much, if not more, upside than he does. And I want to use these picks to fill out the rest of my roster.
Yes, agreed. D4, thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Kiss says, congrats on the first round, brother. Thank you. You the man, D4. Appreciate it, brother. Thank you so much. Thanks for swinging by, man. A kid called Chris. Thank you, brother. Had a blast with you guys last night. Let's go. It's like 4:30 in the afternoon over there, so he's good. A good time for Chris now.
Appreciate you for popping in, man.
Always. Blake, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Watching Shane Presser last night, it finally feels like we're no longer in the Stone Age. No more talk about computer people and full bloom love. I was in full bloom love with that draft.
Yeah. I mean, the war room yesterday looked like it was completely different to when we had Dave and Judge. Like it was like I watched the videos after the fact. I'm like, oh my God, like they had like
a professional one.
Yeah, it was huge. They
we didn't have the circus music.
Yeah, they were all organized, and Shane talked in detail about all the preparation that they had before the draft started. He said they had like 9 different scenarios all planned out. They knew exactly what they were going to do based on the situation. And he basically said what we said on draft night last night. Once all the tackles got to him, he said to himself, all right, we're going to go edge first. That was the plan all along. If all the tackles got there, they had a near equal grade on actually Aquanu. And they were not as high on Cross as people thought. So we ended up with Evan Neal.
That was smoke.
Yeah, it was smoke.
The Cross was smoke.
Yeah.
But you know what? That's kind of what we figured. You're not going to get Kayvon Thibodeau back, but you were going to get one of the best tackles in the league. So it made perfect sense. He actually used common sense.
Yeah.
Our GM has common sense. Who would have thought? Hot Take Hockey in the house. What up, buddy? Always good to see you. Says congrats on the draft. Thank you, sir. Can't wait for playoff hockey on that channel. The man is fantastic at what he does over there. And he'll be calling some of my Rangers games. Let's go.
And I disagree, by the way, Murphy Brown. I don't mean to interrupt you. He says the second round pick is not a flyer. I think with the quarterback position, it is. Especially with a quarterback as underdeveloped as he is, I do think it's a flyer. It could work out, but more often than not, and yes, you could point to certain instances where quarterbacks that go in the second, third, fourth round work out, but more often than not, they do not. Especially as you get past the first round. So I do think it would be a flyer. I think it's a flyer whenever you take a quarterback. It's an incredibly unpredictable position, but the further you go along in the draft, especially when you have a team like the Giants that does not have much to support the quarterback, I think it's 100% a flyer.
Yeah, I agree. They're not going to take. We have too many other needs.
Yeah,
they're not going to. I can't see them taking Malik Willis. But yes, stranger things have happened.
Yeah.
So who knows? Nelly, thanks so much. Really appreciate it. She says, "Hey guys, last night could not have gone better for us. I was so pumped I lost my voice. I think we all took all of our voices took a shot yesterday. So glad to finally have a competent front office. Us too. What players do you guys want to see the Giants take tonight? Well, there's 4 on our board there on the poll, right? And then what else we talk about? We talked about Chanel is one of them.
I mean, if I could pick my guy right now at 36, and again, there's I'm gonna be happy with 7, 8 guys. I like Petre. That's probably the guy I like the most. But Booth, I think cornerback as well is an immediate need, but I really like Petre. I started looking into him 8, 9, 10 days ago, and I saw a lot of Giants fans talking about him on Twitter. I think he would fit this scheme perfectly. So I really like Petre. I think I'd be very happy if we got him. And as it goes along, I mean, I got to see what they do with the pick at 36 before I say what I think they should do at 67. But Parham's a guy we've talked about a lot. Yep. He's an interior offensive lineman option there. That's when you start to at least explore the possibility of a potential running back, a tight end. Those at least come into the discussion.
Yep.
At that point.
Wide receiver.
Receiver, yeah. The kid from Cincinnati, the receiver. Somebody's going to say in the chat right now, but he's an option there in the third round that a lot of New York Giants fans like. So we'll see. We'll see as the draft progresses, what the New York Giants are looking at. But I think with that 36 pick, Petre's probably my one. But I like Brisker. I like Dean. I like Chanel. There's a lot of guys I like that they can take there.
Yeah, we got a good selection.
Pierce. There's the receiver, Pierce. Yeah, Cincinnati. I think he's a possibility at 67. There's a lot of possibilities for the Giants.
Peter, thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Bothering me that people are giving the Jets more props than us. Not sure in what world a cornerback and wide receiver carries more weight than an offensive tackle and an edge as cornerstone franchise pieces. Also, Gettleman goes Jordan Davis.
He might have. And listen, I really like Jordan Davis, but I wouldn't have taken him that high. But I think if I had to guess, like you said last night, I would have, just because Gettleman knows that Daniel Jones is his legacy, I think he would have went tackle and wide receiver. Yep. That's what I think he would have done with those 2 picks. I don't think he would have went edge.
Yep. Well, I agree. But I think, Peter, part of the reason the Jets, you're getting more props is because they traded back up and got Jermaine Johnson. I think that was a good move for them. The Jets had a really good draft.
Sauce Gardner's terrific.
And again, they have other needs than we do. Sauce is definitely probably the best corner in the draft. And it tells you how what am I trying to say? Like how much of a need corners are that 2 of them went in the top 4. Corner is such an important position in this day's NFL. And they need a wide receiver, for their young quarterback. I think they had a good, I don't know if it, I think we had a great draft.
I didn't tell anybody this because I don't know how legitimate it is, but I have a guy I talk to on Twitter that sometimes feeds me things he hears about with the Giants. And he's been right in the past. He told me about Shane Lemieux like a week before it came out that he was going to be out for the year. He told me about Logan Ryan like 2 weeks before we signed him the first time around. And he told me, and again, I don't know how legitimate this is. He told me that the New York Giants, they had Neal as the number 1 tackle. And he told me that the number 2 player on their overall board was Sauce Gardner. Yeah. So I don't know how accurate that is, but I do think the Giants would have taken Sauce had he gotten there.
I do too.
Yeah.
Talking Nico, thank you, brother. Really, my voice taking a beater. He says, Shane talking about new players' concerns outside of football was a breath of fresh air. A staff willing to change with the times. Yes, I agree. And that's exactly what we needed to do. We needed to jump into the 21st century here.
Yep.
And you know what? I think that Mara stayed out of it. I think these are Shane's guys.
Yeah, for sure.
Lucas, thank you for the super chat. Really appreciate it, brother. He says, I think we picked amazing at 5 and 7, grabbing Tibbs before anybody could trade and snagging the best left tackle, right tackle. And Neil, what about a steal of Malik Willis? I don't think he'd be a steal at this point. He's not a, if he was a,
I don't think any quarterback should steal at this point.
No, he would have went.
I think it's like we said last night. Everybody's saying Malik Willis. Don't be shy. I would predict Willis will be the next quarterback off the board, but don't be shocked if it's Corral
or Ritter.
Don't be shocked if it's Ritter.
Or Howell.
Yeah, or Howell. Going into the draft, all these quarterbacks were kind of bunched together, and everybody had their opinions. Who was one, and that usually tells you it's not a great quarterback class. So I don't even know if Willis is going to be the next quarterback off the board.
Yeah, and like I said, I think I mentioned this a couple days ago. To me, when I looked at the first quarterback to the fifth quarterback, there really wasn't. There's nobody that was like head and shoulders better than the other one.
Right.
None of them really stood out. And it's obvious because, like you said last night, this was the first draft since 1997 that one quarterback went in the top 20.
It's latest
20th. Yeah. Or it was picked 20th or later.
Yeah. And the one before that, I think, was the manual draft, where I think he went 15th or 16th to the Bills. And that was a clear reach, right? I mean, he never turned into anything at the NFL level.
So, Josh, thank you, brother. Appreciate it. It has to be Booth. Cornerback. Kid is a baller. Had him in the top 20.
I'd be very happy with Booth. I've heard some Giants fans on Twitter tell me that they don't know how well he'd fit the scheme. I don't know. I know Booth was a guy that was highly regarded and one of the top 4 or 5 corners in this year's draft class. And most people had him going in the first round. So I'll be happy if we take him.
Yeah. Shane knows what he's doing. He got this. Chris, I hope he bought another microphone to drop it again today. Because he broke that thing when he dropped it.
Well, he spiked it like Gronkowski.
Yeah, he did. John, thank you for the super chat. Really appreciate it. Do you see Bradbury getting traded today for some picks? Shane was asked last night about Bradbury, and he said he has plans also. I want Dean or Harris.
I don't know. I hope we're able to trade him this year and get a draft pick for him, but we'll see. They may have an alternate plan like they've talked about in the past. The only way that happens is if they backload salaries to keep Bradbury on the team this year. We'll have to wait and see. Christian Harris is another name. Not a lot of people have brought up. He's another linebacker prospect that potentially could go in this round. So, there's a lot of options. There's so many options right now,
which is awesome for us.
Yeah.
Because again, that means maybe you could trade this. Listen, that's one thing I'll give Gettleman credit for. Last year, being able to trade back in the second round and get Azeez Ojulari, I thought that was a great move. He didn't make many great moves, but I thought that was good. And that is a possibility that maybe today we trade back from 36 to whatever, 45 or 46, and maybe get another third round pick or something. If there's still a lot of players that Shane's like, okay, I think we can move back 9 spots, and I think we can still get a guy that we really like. You never know. It's what I'm saying. Day 2 to me is just as fun as day 1. It really is.
Oh yeah.
Second and third round picks are very important to teams. So, it is.
This is where you're going to really start to truly judge Joe Shane. I mean, we're all excited. We're all hyping him up because it was a great day 1, but I mean, it fell in his lap. I mean, we're picking at 5 and 7, and it played out perfectly. He orchestrated it perfectly by taking the edge first, and he was still able to get his tackle. But this is where GMs make their money. If you're even a moderately capable GM, you should be able to hit on picks in the top 7.
Yep.
This is where
make their money.
For 2 or 3 years how he hits on these picks, but this is where GMs make their money.
Agreed. I saw Dyer Giants fan say 9 trades in the first round, none from Malik Willis.
Yeah. Oh, wow. That's a good point. Wow.
That's crazy.
9 trades.
9 trades and none.
Not one was for a quarterback. I mean, the
Steelers, none for a quarterback.
Steelers hit a 20 pick. So that's crazy, man. Because generally speaking, in the first round, if you're trading up, usually for a quarterback, but it just goes to
like I said, when the Lions went up 20, I'm like, oh, that's Malik Willis. There's no question.
Yeah.
20 spots. It was for a wide receiver.
Yeah.
Grim, thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Hard to mess up 36. Great value or trade down. I agree.
Yeah, I'm hoping we could find a way to trade down and get extra draft capital. But at the same time, I won't be upset at all if we just stay there and take somebody. But there easily could be teams looking to trade up for one of these quarterbacks, because I have a feeling we're going to see 2-3 quarterbacks here going in the second round. I think you'll see a little bit of a run of quarterbacks relatively early in the second round.
Yep, I agree. Shame, thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Great draft. Getting would have taken 2 running backs. Feels good to actually do well. What are you guys taking the second now? And I think we've been discussing it. Corner, best available player. The Giants could go in a lot of different directions with this pick, depending on what
it could be like 5 different positions for me. It could be corner, safety, linebacker, wide receiver.
Yeah.
So it all comes down to who's the best player on their board. But I'm hoping it's a corner or safety because I think we need a lot of help there.
Yes. Wheelkey, thank you, brother. Appreciate it. What about Jordan Love for a third this year and next? I don't think we would do that for the simple fact that I think Jordan Love's not a guy that Joe Shane drafted. And normally when you're a new GM, you're going to want to select your own quarterback.
He's not looking to give away draft capital either. He's going to roll with Jones for a year, see how it plays out, and then reevaluate the quarterback position next year. That's what's going to happen.
So somebody asked me if I take Mechie from Alabama. I mean, later in the draft, I wouldn't take him this early. No way.
Yeah.
No way. Nick, thank you so much, brother. Really appreciate it, man. He says, great hanging out the last night, fellas. Sam was the star of the show. Yeah, Sam brought us luck last night. He was fired up. I think he might have been more fired up than we were.
He was awesome.
He was awesome. Looking forward to seeing what Shane does tonight. I quiet like Travis Jones at the cornerbacks are going by 36. I don't know much about Travis Jones.
Didn't he go? Maybe I'm wrong. I thought let me take a quick look.
Is that the Cowboys guy?
Let me take a quick look.
No, who did the Cowboys take?
Maybe I'm wrong. I might be wrong. But go ahead. Yeah, I'll look it up. Get to
Jason, thank you, brother. I really appreciate it. I saw some idiot saying Tibb was overdrafted and probably not going to 15 or 20. You guys see any stupid takes here? Jason, first and foremost, I'd like to say.
No, I don't mean to interrupt you. No, I think he's the interior defensive lineman, if I'm not mistaken. The Giants brought him in for a visit. Okay. He did not go.
Gotcha. I was going to say, first and foremost, Jason, probably an Eagles fan had that take because they wanted Thibodeau and they wanted him to drop to 15 or 20. But no, I haven't really looked at any like stupid takes. I went back and looked at some of our rivals' reactions to our pick, and that was about it. I just watched a lot of Giants stuff, so I really didn't see a lot. The funny thing was Philly 500 just saying the Giants were really stupid to not take Evan Neal. They're really stupid because he wanted Thibodeau to fall, and then when we ended up with Evan Neal, he knew that was good. He knew it was good. But I haven't seen anything really stupid.
The one guy that I actually respect, I think he has a pretty good opinion, that hated Kayvon Thibodeau pre-draft, and I'm sure he's going to bash the pick, was Chris Sims. So see what he has to say about it. But he had him like 7th at the position before the draft started, so he was not high on him at all. So we'll see what he has to say. Yeah. But that was the one guy I'll say that did not like him.
Okay. Well, there's always going to be somebody.
Yeah.
You can't please everybody.
Yeah, there's always going to be critics.
Right, let's hope Chris Sims is completely wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
Nate, thank you, brother. Appreciate it. He says,
stand up.
And Stella! Man, what an A+ first round. Also overall, who do you want to draft the 36 available, Dean or Petre? For me, it's Petre, to be honest.
That's my guy too. If you said you have to, again, splitting hairs, but yeah, Petre would be my number one guy I think on my board right now.
Yeah, I agree. I'm just looking at the poll. We got over 1,000 votes on the poll, and the Kobe Dean still leads huge, 57%. So he's got more votes than the other 3 guys combined up there. All right. I got that one. Tim, I believe Tim was next. He is. Yes. Thank you for the super chat, brother. I really appreciate it. Maybe grab Cole Strange in the 3rd. Just kidding. I love how Belichick feels he is the smartest in the room. Oh, the Rams had a field day with that. I saw a little quick snippet on Instagram, and I think it was Sean McVay or somebody says, wow, we could have saved some time. We were sitting here where he goes, he just saved us a lot of time. We were going to sit here and wait for him to be picked like 104th or something.
Well, most people had him going in the 3rd round.
Most people had the Cowboys guy going in the 3rd round too.
But Patriots don't care, and I bet I'd be willing to bet Cole Strange turns out to be a very good football player.
So
yeah, the Patriots know what they're doing.
They do. Man Deep, thank you for the super sticker. Really appreciate it. Hello. Actually, I gotta go back and look at that one. Appreciate the day man in the house. Thank you so much, brother. Appreciate it. It says this draft is very deep at linebacker. Hopefully, we take either a safety or corner at 2 and address the linebacker a little later.
Yep, that's what I want to. But again, if we take Dean, can't be upset.
Yeah,
but,
not going to accept.
That's what I want as well, D-man.
But I agree. I think that the secondary is a bigger need right
Yeah.
now than linebacker. But yes, if they get the Dick Butkus Award winner, I'm not going to sit here and cry in my medium soda.
Yeah.
Blake,
take the best player.
Yeah. Blake, thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Don't sleep on Kyler Gordon. Probably the best press cornerback.
Yeah, I saw a lot of people say that on Twitter. He's a guy that people have talked about that maybe the Giants could look at. We'll see. We'll see who they feel fits their scheme. And that has to come into play, too. It's not just – it's more so who's the best available player for what you're trying to implement.
Right.
Certain players are going to be better fits for certain teams. So we'll see.
Again, we got over 1,000 people in here, guys and girls. So thank you so much. You know what to do, though. Hit the thumbs up. You ain't hit it. It helps out the stream huge. Just bang that thumbs up. Hit the subscribe, ring the bell. But again, most importantly, make sure you go into the description. The link to Up Tainah's channel is there. We're going to be live on that channel tonight at 6:40 and all day tomorrow. Where this starts at noon tomorrow.
Probably around then. Yeah.
So we'll be around. We won't be live like 30 minutes before day 3, but
we'll go live
right 5 minutes or whatever. Right. Probably like 11.
That won't be as long as past years, though, because we don't have a pick after the 6th.
Yeah.
So
for now,
we'll hang out maybe 20 minutes after that and we'll call it a day.
Yeah.
So,
but yes, day 2, day 3, going to be on this channel. So make sure you subscribe. We're over there tonight doing this again, watching Joe Shane drop the mic again.
Let's go.
Mac, thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Best safety, defensive line, or tight end available. I don't see them trading our cornerbacks. They are perfect for blitzing coverage, easy to draft so far. Thank Texas and take the Texans and the Jaguars. Yeah, Trayvon Walker and Derek Stingley certainly helped us get.
I think the Texans pick was the key pick because I think we all knew Walker was going 1.
Yeah.
Once the Texans took Stingley, obviously I still thought in the back of my head the Jets could go Thibodeau. But my pre-draft thoughts were, and it's why I said I don't think we're getting sauce, even though I thought throughout the majority of the process we were. But as the draft quickly approached within 2 weeks, I really thought the Jets were going to go corner because of the things I've said. I mean, the Miami receiving core is ridiculous. And you think about that Buffalo Bills offense. So it only made sense for the Jets to go sauce. And once they took Stingley, in my head, I'm like, I think we're going to get Thibodeau or at least have the opportunity to take Thibodeau. And get the tackle of our choosing. So it worked out perfectly.
It definitely did. Nick, thank you, brother. Appreciate this for years. They put you guys on my TV. My girl goes, well, I guess it's time for bed. Was so pumped yesterday. Was trying not to scream and wake her up. Nick, we did the screaming for you, buddy. It's all good. It was a good night.
Yeah.
A good night for us Giants fans. We haven't had a night like that in a long time. Walter, thank you, brother. Appreciate it. He says, how long before Wentz goes down? What a bum.
We'll see. He is injury prone. I think Wentz is an upgrade for them, but I think he's kind of like a Trubisky in the sense that I don't think, the Steelers obviously don't view Trubisky as a long-term plan. I think it's the same thing for Washington. I think it's a guy that maybe be there for a year or two, and then they'll eventually find their replacement.
Yes, I agree. Roldy, thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Good morning, Baddog. Christopher, still holding out. I'm still holding hope. Holding out hope of Willis. We had an excellent first round. Tibbs and Neal was I was so happy. Was a must, and I was so happy. Just listening to Shane last night made me feel change.
Yeah, man. He came across as a really smart guy last night. And as much as some Giant fans, found, you got laughter out of what Gettleman said. And I sometimes I enjoyed how he handled the press and, the way in which he did it. But it just feels so much more. I'm so much more relieved watching a guy like Shane that feels comfortable, handles it professionally. I got the same feeling too last night, Roldy. But let's see results on the field first. But he's off to a really good start.
But yeah, and I said it earlier, Roldy. It just feels like a change. It just, like I said, from them, granting the wish to Sam to Strahan reached out to Kayvon Thibodeau. It does. It feels different. It feels like it's changing, and that's all we can hope for. But it is nice for a guy to not get cute and then not try to be like Gettleman, I'm the smartest guy in the room, and I'm going to take this guy at 5. And it was nice to see a GM just go, best right tackle. We need a tackle. Let's get the best one. We need an edge rusher. Let's get the best one.
Yeah.
As opposed to let me get cute and try to find a guy in the 4th round that could be this shot. Like who's the guy we took in the 4th round? Oh God, I can't think of his name.
What draft?
Last year.
Last year, we
4th round. It wasn't Aaron Robinson. It was the edge.
Oh, Ellerson Smith.
Ellerson Smith.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that maybe Ellerson Smith ends up being something, but I'm saying instead of taking Thibodeau, you're like, well, we'll wait for a guy like it ever since Ellerson Smith in the 4th round, and we'll outsmart everybody.
Yeah.
So it's just nice to see him thinking with his head and not try to be like, I'm smarter than you. NY Giants, thank you, brother. He says, Jihad Ward blocked me on Instagram. Suggested Gano or him give Tibbs 5 or 55. Responds with and blocked me. Guess he wasn't happy with that.
All right.
Okay. Okay. That's interesting. Well, Gano might not have responded the same way.
I would hope not.
Brandon, thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Unbelievable 1st round. Corner, linebacker, wide receiver at 36.
I saw somebody in the chat ask about Christian Watson. He's a wide receiver that we could potentially take. If we go wide receiver, we could. I don't think we will, but we could. I like him. He's fast. You're right. He was really impressive with the combine. I think he's going to go early to mid-2nd round. So if we are going wide receiver, I'd say him and Sky Moore are probably at the top. Both of them really helped their stock during the combine and the pro days. So we'll see if they go that route. I don't think they will. I think they're going to go secondary, but I wouldn't be surprised.
I'm interested to see where George Pickens ends up, man.
Him as well. He's another one.
A lot of talent there, but again, I don't know if 36 might be a bit of a reach for Pickens, but it will be interesting to see where he goes because he really is. He's a very talented kid. He's a really good receiver, very physical, and he plays with a chip on his shoulder, and he's got a bad temper. But I remember him took a guy. Well, they got in a fight. I forgot who they were playing. It might have been Georgia Tech. I forget. But Pickens had the guy in a headlock and bulldogged him into the wall, and I just got a kick out of that. I was like, bringing it back to the wrestling days. Like, bang! I was got to come up with a cut.
As I'm thinking, the other reason why I think it's even more likely we're going to go with a corner. What did the teams in our division do last night? Eagles got A.J. Brown.
Yep.
They got Devontae Smith on the other side. Washington got Dotson. Yep. And they already have Terry McLaurin. We know Wing's system needs coverage. So that's another reason why I think the Giants are probably going to go secondary with this pick. Point. When you think about the additions that the teams in our division made last night at the wide receiver position, I'd be pretty surprised if we don't go secondary with this pick.
That's a great point. Alex, thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Kyler Gordon, 36. Good man coverage, scheme fit.
Yeah, a lot of Giants fans like him. Yep. And maybe he'll be the guy that we take.
Jay, thank you, my man. Appreciate you, brother. Amazing how a competent GM can turn our frowns upside down. That's right. Nothing better than watching the draft with the best Giants content creators out there. Baddog and Tainah, salute to my guys. Thank you, Jay. We appreciate it, buddy. It was an honor to have 2,500 people in there all night. That was awesome.
Appreciate that, Jay, man. Thank you so much, man, for all the support you always show, man.
Yeah, that was great. That was a good night, guys and girls. Diego, thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Stand up, New York Giant fans.
And he says, let's get the safety from Penn State, and we are good to go. Brisker. Yeah, there's a lot of options for the Giants. A lot of names out there. I don't think you can go wrong with any one of them, to be honest.
Brisker's another guy I love. I had him in my only 6-round mock draft that I did. I think it's going to be Petrie if they go the route, but I like Brisker a lot. He is a really fun player to watch. I think he's a guy that would fit very well in terms of being an in-the-box safety. We know that Wink likes to blitz a ton, not just with the edge, with the linebacker. He likes to blitz with every position. He's a guy that's kind of a thumper. He's a hard hitter. I like Brisker a lot. I'd be happy if the Giants took him as well.
I'm already happy.
Yeah.
I'm just sitting here. I'm glowing today.
Yeah.
I feel good. Eddie, thank you so much for becoming a member, man. I really appreciate it. Eddie Barnes, welcome to the Dog Pound. Dog Pound members, where you at? Welcome, Eddie Barnes in the Dog Pound. Let's go, Giants, baby.
Let's go.
Leontre Chester says, thank you so much, brother. Appreciate it. He says, Malik Willis at 67.
Sure. I mean, if he gets to 67, you have
Yeah,
to
I'll
start,
tell you, listen, if he gets to
you have to start
67.
to ask yourself, why is this guy getting to 67?
Right.
At that point, every team in the league would have 2 swings at the guy.
Yep. Some more than 2.
Yeah. So, yeah.
That was pretty funny. That was right. Blake says Kim Jones was upset at the KT pick. She wanted Neil. She got him.
She
got him. Kim Jones
literally got him.
She got him. Unless he means like after the pick.
After the fact, yeah. But at that point, you can't be upset at all.
Mr. Lopez, thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Any tight end catch your eyes day 2 or 3? We've discussed Ruckert, Otten.
I think, those two, I think are, I mean, obviously there's better prospects, but I don't think they're taking one today. Well, they might.
Well, it's a day 2 or 3.
Yeah, I don't think they're taking one in the second round. I know a lot of people have brought up some guys that they could potentially take there.
I think it'll be a 4th round.
I think it'll be a 4th. If I had to guess, I think it'll be a 4th round tight end because I think there's a bunch of guys there that they could take. And I think they'll try to fill some other needs here with these next 3 picks.
Yep. Hey, you, Matan. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Best player available meets need. Willis to the achievement. DJ Sticks. They love Malik Willis.
We'll see.
They love Malik Willis.
We'll see.
Nice fans. When we didn't go, Steven, thank you for subscribing, man. I appreciate it, brother. I just
Jelani Woods, by the way, is another tight end. I saw Nick mention that that we mocked in our last mock. So he could potentially be a guy they look at as well.
It is funny though. Just Giants fans who pick 5 and 7, like there's Malik Willis. Dream is dead. Oh, it's revived.
Yeah,
guys, I'd be shocked if the Giants took Malik Willis.
It's not happening. Well, I'll wait till he gets off the board. Then I'll say it's
maybe somebody trades up to get Malik Willis at 36, and we can get a couple. We can get a couple of better players. Gavin, thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Cowboys are the terrible pick. Tyler Smith, a reach. Oh, they reached like a toothbrush on that.
I really thought
they'd go Linderbaum back in a day.
I really thought they'd go Linderbaum with that pick.
Why wouldn't you go Linderbaum with that pick?
They must not have liked him, but I thought that once the Cowboys were on the board, I was like, they got Linderbaum. So I was relieved when they didn't take him.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
That's why it made it. The Eagles did a good job. Listen, I'm always going to needle the Eagles. Screw the Eagles. I hate the Eagles. Yeah. So regardless if they're good or bad, I got to needle them. But at the end of the day, I'll give them the respect they deserve when they when they do well. The Cowboys, that was terrible. I don't care what anybody says. That was horrible.
Yeah.
That was horrible. The Cowboys are starting to decline. They're going to fall apart here.
We'll see. But I don't like the direction of their team with the contract between Zeke and Dak and a lot of the players they've had to lose because of it.
Right.
So we'll see.
That's what I'm saying. Tutto, grazie, paisano. Salute, Kevin Kiss. To drop by office to pay our proper respects. Let me get my pin pan out here. And for all the Giants fans around the world, slap the stinky Boyd's losers out of the dough.
What's up, Tudo, man? Thanks for popping in, buddy.
Tudo hates the Eagles more than I do.
I
didn't think it was possible. He hates the Eagles. Hates them. Nate, thank you, brother. I really appreciate it, my man. I know none of us is Wink, but if the Jets, if Bradbury gets traded, wouldn't you let Robinson get his chance at cornerback 2 and draft the cornerback in the 5th or 6th round to develop? I'd try this.
Depends how they feel about Robinson. Yeah. Like, if they really feel Robinson, and you have to remember they had nothing to do with Robinson even being on this roster.
Yeah.
And you also got to remember that Robinson was drafted to be a slot corner.
Right.
But if they legitimately feel Robinson could be a really good cornerback too, they could go that route.
They definitely could. And I liked Aaron Robinson. I thought he played well. I thought he was physical. I thought he played hard. Still got some development. I don't know if I would want him as a press corner since he was drafted as a slot, but
I mean, they felt that way, sure, but my guess would be they probably won't. Right. Especially because they never drafted the guy, and that wasn't the position he was drafted for. But we'll see.
Yeah. You never know. John, thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Just my opinion. I believe we need a linebacker over a cornerback any day. We already have a common of DBs. After Blake, we have nobody. And let's be honest, I'd rather have a linebacker tackling Zeke, Gibson, Sanders over a defensive back.
It's fair. I think a lot of Giants fans that want to go DB are baking in the fact that they think Bradbury's not going to be here. So if you lose Bradbury, You know, and even if Bradbury is back, he won't be here for another year after that.
Right.
So I think Giants fans are taking that into consideration when they feel like we need to go corner. But don't get it twisted. Linebacker is certainly a big need for this team. Martinez ain't going to be here much longer.
Right. Again,
And even if he is, you don't know if he's going to play well this year. He's coming off an injury. So, which definitely need. Linebackers definitely need.
yeah, listen, I think cornerback is a bigger need than most, but they go to Kobe Dean. I'm going to be a happy dog. I'll just tell you that. I just happened to see this. Joseph Kelly says, great nickname, Baddog, Stravon. Mixed them together. It was a long night. Stravon Thibodeau. Well, maybe if Strahan, you know, he gets in there and he developed, you know, helps Thibodeau become close to the level of, can you imagine if he even got close to the level of Strahan? Stravon.
That'd be cool.
It's kind of like Raybert. Anybody that watched Everybody Loves Raymond when, you know, Robert was single, but he acted like he was Raymond, and Raymond had the groupies for writing the paper, so they called themselves Raybert to get Robert women. So maybe we got a little Stravon thing going on there.
Let's do it.
Pencil Man, thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Good morning, guys. Would you trade the 36th for an additional second rounder and all aboard the Shane train?
Depends. I mean, it depends on the offer, and it depends who's there at 36. But yeah, I mean, I'm definitely open for business at 36. Depending
Shane
on the
was
package.
open for business at 7, right?
What'd you say?
Shane said he was open for business at 7. So I'm
I think you're always open for business. It's just a matter of who's there when you're picking and what are you getting offered. But you know, I think there's going to be teams looking to move up because there's a lot of quarterbacks still on the board. So,
true.
I'm sure they're probably already talking.
Yeah.
They're probably already having discussions based off certain scenarios. If this quarterback gets to you guys, what would you want for that pick if there's not a player on your board that you're absolutely in love with? So I'm sure they're already going over these scenarios with other teams, and we'll see. We'll see what happens with those first 3 picks before we're up.
That's why you got to tune in tonight. Make sure you guys are hitting the bell and subscribing and going into that description, subscribing to the Entertainment Talking Sports, because we're going to be over there tonight. We're going to see how it all plays out on day 2.
The other thing I'll say, J-Fed brings up, Willis wouldn't even play this year. What's the point? The other thing I'll say to that, if he doesn't play this year, which I agree at this point he wouldn't,
right?
He's a second-round pick, and if he does,
because of injury or something.
He probably shouldn't be due to the fact that, you know, most people feel he's obviously a developmental quarterback. It's why he's dropped as far as he is. You don't even now have the 5th-year option to retain because it's a second-round pick. So he becomes a free agent after 4 years at this point. So if he's going to sit for the first year, you really only have 3 years if he even becomes the starter after that for him under rookie control now that it's a second-round pick. So.
Right. Independent outsider, thank you, brother. Happy to see smiles after a draft for once. Good morning. It's nice.
What's up, Independent?
It's nice. It's nice to have some smiles. Walter, thank you, brother. Appreciate you. I mean, the guy sprains both ankles on one play. Who's going to be a breakout player on the Giants this year?
I mean, outside of the guys we draft, I'm not going to, you know, if you're asking guys that we're currently on the team,
man.
I think Aziz is the obvious answer on defense. And I think Leonard Williams is going to have a big year. I think Leonard Williams is going to have a big year because he's got a lot of help. The Aziz is going to be better, I think. The addition, obviously, of Thibodeau, it's going to cause opposing offensive lines to pay more attention to the edge. It could open up seams up the middle. So I can see Leonard Williams having a big year on the defense.
Offensively, let's hope it's like Kadarius Toney.
I'm going to go Barkley. Maybe crazy, but I think the way they're going to use Barkley in this offense, you know, you've heard that they're going to use him more in the passing game. I think another year recovered, and the fact that you now have a much stronger right tackle, I think that's going to help Saquon Barkley tremendously in this offense. And I think the way that they're going to use him in this offense is really going to – he may not get, you know, like a bell cow amount of touches, but I think he's going to be used in a certain way where you're going to see a lot of big plays from Saquon this year. I think he's going to have a big year. I really do.
I hope they all have big years.
Yeah.
NY Giants 26. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. We got Tibbs pick right. Strahan mentoring too.
Yeah. He was talking about that after the fact that Strahan's going to mentor him, which is awesome.
I love it. Zeke, my man, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. I'm still freaking hyped. If Dean is there, pick him. Front 7 would be scary. Sleeper Ajabo, use a 3rd round pick on DBs. I have no problem with.
I'd be fine. I mean, if they had Ojabo as a top 10 player in this year's draft, you can never have enough pass rushers. So if they take him and you want to sit him for a year or half a season, whatever it is, and let him develop, I'm okay with that if they go that route.
I'm okay with that too, especially after the first round that they had. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, if they take Nakobe Dean, like I said, I'll be very happy. I'm a big Nakobe Dean fan. I love that kid. Raiden, thank you, brother. Appreciate it. I want Kyler Gordon. It's another very popular name. That's what I'm saying. You look at the chat and you look at the people that they want. And again, I'll look at the poll. I mean, I know most of this is Nakobe Dean, but I didn't have a chance to put more players in there. But you've seen Andrew Booth, you've seen Petre, you've seen Nakobe Dean, you've seen a lot of different players. You've seen Kyler Gordon. So it just tells you there's a lot that the Giants could choose from.
Which is what you want.
Yep, exactly. JB, thank you, brother. Appreciate it, my man. In Vegas for the draft, Giants well-repped was lit.
Yeah, man. I saw it last night on the TV. There was a lot of Giants fans there.
It was awesome. Good. Well, that just shows you, like I said, this is why we're the best fan base. This team has been terrible for 5 years, and look at the representation that we have.
Yeah,
they love their damn big blue. They love it. You know, they're sick of losing. They're going to voice their opinions, which I feel we have the right to do. And we want to win. And we love our team. They don't go anywhere. You know, it's not like we're like, oh, we're not going to pay attention. Nah, we're big blue all the way, man. We bleed blue, baby. Blue 77, thank you, brother. Not as Giants fans, but as YouTube businessmen. Willis would have to be the best pick for you. No? Quarterback controversy, etc. Great talking points. Listen, I love doing YouTube.
I think as a fan, I don't think that way.
I was going to say, as a fan, I just want to win games.
Yeah, I don't think like what pick is going to give me a more topics to talk about. But I think, I guess as a YouTube businessman, I think this is better, to be honest with you, because I think it's going to make us a better football team in the near and in the future. So I think Giant fans are going to be beyond excited about Thibodeau and improving the offensive line.
Correct.
Like, you know, this fan base, and I know because I'm a part of it. Some people obviously don't agree with me, but the majority, I think, do. We've been deprived of the offensive line, and we've been dying to improve that for the last decade. So I think this is going to add a ton of excitement, and even more excitement than a guy like Malik Willis would have added to this fan base. Suddenly you're thinking about it and you're like, oh my God, not only is Neal a significant upgrade over Nate Solder, like, I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Like night and day, it's going to improve the rest of that line because suddenly you don't have to help on the right side. The interior guys could help, you know, double team the opposing defenders. You could stick Thomas and Neal out on an island. It's going to make the offensive line so much better. And the same can be said for defense with Thibodeau. If he has to pick up double teams, Aziz is going to feast. So I think
Williams.
Yeah, I think Giant fans, in terms of talking points, no, man. I think this is even more excitement from Giants fans that it went this way. So now maybe you're right, and maybe it would have been an interesting topic to talk about with the quarterback controversy. But my honest opinion, and maybe they'll take him around 2, and it will be a talking point. I believe it from the bottom of my heart. I do think Malik Willis could be successful in the NFL. Had the Giants drafted him, I think he would have been an epic failure.
Yep.
So I'm glad we didn't take him.
I agree. You know what, to me, great talking points are winning football games.
Yeah, exactly.
That is the best talking point for a Giants fan, is winning football games. And I feel like the 2 guys that we drafted in 5 and 7 give us a better opportunity to win football games than Malik Willis would. That's just my opinion. But he's still out there. We'll see what happens today with Malik Willis. He's going to go at some point today. He's not going to vault around 3. So we'll see if somebody trades up, somebody thinks highly of him. We'll see if he slips down into the back of round 2. It'll be interesting. Round 2 is a lot of round 2 and 3 are a lot of fun. Day 2 is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And because there's a lot of wheeling and dealing that goes on at this point. NYG31, thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Sup, guys? Good draft last night. We could get Nakobe Dean out of Georgia. We could. Yeah,
he's going to be number 1 on a lot of fans' boards, and we'll see if he's number 1 on the Giants' board.
Right. AP, thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Willis Neal Tibbs is my dream draft.
Well, we'll see if you get it.
Yeah,
I think you're going to get 2/3 of your dream.
Yeah, I don't think that third part's coming in.
Yeah,
I don't think that third part of your pick 3 is coming in. Bryce, thank you, brother. Appreciate it. What up, cuties?
What's going on, Bryce? Thanks for popping in.
Detroit Red Wings, thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Let's go, G-Men. Love you guys. Best YouTubers.
Appreciate that, man. Thank you so much for being here.
I see an enemy coming up here. I see an enemy. And my Giants 26, thank you for the super chat. You guys going to do a round 2 mock? Probably not.
Probably. Yeah, it's. I mean, we could, but it's very hard to do a round 2 mock.
Yeah,
I go over all the
because I don't know enough of these players.
It would take a really long time to do it too. Probably not. But we've given you the guys that we think the Giants are going to take in round 2, and after that, I think, like we said, we'll talk about it during the live stream, so we're going to be live for it. But let's see who they take at 36 first, and then we'll discuss what we think they're going to do in round 3. But I think I have a general idea of what they're going to be looking at. But let's see what they do at 36 first.
I love them. Philly, you're the man. He says, Baddog is a happy dog today. What up, guys? 3 best drafts last night. Giants, Eagles, and Jets. I want a jobbo. Hashtag NASA work. Hashtag Dolphin banger. Hashtag Philly was right. What were you right about? Jordan Davis? Because you never did a video on A.J. Brown at any point. Of all the videos I watched you do, that was not a name you came up with.
Man, I appreciate you coming in, Philly. And I understand why Eagles fans are excited. I mean, you guys have been, dying to get that number 1 wide receiver for years. Obviously, you think A.J. Brown could be that guy. You think about what it could do for your offense with Devontae Smith as well. And now you're going to get your answer with your quarterback. And if he's not the guy, the next quarterback will have some nice weapons. You already have a pretty good offensive line to begin with. So Eagles fans have a right to be excited after last night. I understand it. I think you gave up a ton personally, and you paid him a lot of money, but it'll pay off. And the other thing that at least you hope it'll pay off if you're an Eagles fan, but the other thing that you could argue is if Hurts does not work out, you're still going to have a quarterback on a rookie salary if you have to draft one. So paying him that much money may not hurt your football team. So, yeah, I think you have a right to be excited. I don't know if I would say you had one of the top 3 drafts, but you had a good night.
The one thing I'll say is obviously the Eagles probably went into the draft looking for a wide receiver and said A.J. Brown's better than any receiver we're getting at 18. So they went out and they traded the 18th pick and paid him the money. So that's a big need for them. I don't know why it traded. I guess you guys really wanted Jordan Davis. I thought that, to me, that move was kind of like, why would you move up 2 spots and give up so much for Jordan Davis? But I guess they were in love with him. I know. Listen, if you watch football, how do you not love Jordan Davis? You love Jordan Davis.
I see John saying the Eagles only gave up 2 picks. No, they gave up 3 extra picks to move up to get Jordan Davis.
Yeah.
They gave up like, I don't know what the numbers were, but they were basically like a late 3rd and 2 fourths, somewhere in that ballpark. And then they also gave up 18 and 101 to get A.J. Brown. So they gave up 5 draft picks last night.
They gave up a lot. They got the players they wanted, but they gave up a lot. But they have 2 first-round picks next year. They didn't have to dip into that. That's more of a reason. They could always trade down if they want to accumulate more draft picks in next year's draft. Yep.
One of those first.
Blake, thank you, brother. Appreciate it. For all the Willis people, if you like him, take a look at C.J. Stroud. That's an elite talent with an unlimited upside. He's the prize, not Willis. Well, we may not get him.
I mean, I love C.J. Stroud, so you're not going to – maybe my opinion will change in a year, but from what I've seen, I'm a big fan of C.J. Stroud, so you ain't getting an argument out of me with that.
Cole, thank you, buddy. Appreciate it. Yeah, we just answered that. Not going to do the mock at 2 or 3 because it takes so long. And, we're going to be live at 6:40 tonight, so – give you guys an opportunity to recover, get something to eat, let my old ass get to the gym, take a nap.
I think 3rd round, I think you're looking at probably, I still think secondary is certainly on the table. Even if
if he's there, that's a guy that just.
Yeah, everything is open. Pierce is open, the wide receiver. Like we said, there's wide receiver possibilities in both rounds. Everything is open.
A possibility.
It's just a matter of who falls to us. We have needs all over the football team. We still have needs all over the football team. It's going to be BPA, and we got to see how the draft board falls to us. But at the pick of 36, I'm leaning Petre, but it could be like 8 different guys. Nakobe Dean, it could be so many different guys. So let's see what they do at 36, and then we'll take it from there.
I agree. Tommy Ribbs, thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Grab the best defender available in the 2nd round, regardless of whether it's a corner or linebacker, and grab a guard, center, and tight end with the 3rd picks. It's very possible that they do that. And I'm fine. Like I said, I'm fine with that. They go Nakobe Dean. I'll be very happy.
I'll say this. I don't want them to draft strictly for position.
Yeah, right.
I want you to take the best players.
Yeah.
If it means you don't draft the tight end until round 5, you don't draft the tight end until round 5. If it means you don't, and listen, I want interior offensive line help as much as anybody. If it means that the best player on your board is not an interior offensive lineman in round 3, you don't do it. Right. I want them to take the best players on their board. Period.
Yep.
That's where the state of this franchise is right now. I don't think we can afford to bypass.
Right. Don't get cute.
don't get cute. Take the best players. This is not a one-year fix. You're building this team up from the ground. So take the best players on your board.
Agreed. Nick, thank you, brother. Appreciate it. I believe Jones, hopefully he steps up this year. Hopefully he does.
Yeah.
Hopefully he does. Hopefully he puts all the quarterback questions to an end. That'd be the best case scenario for the Giants. We build the team, Daniel Jones balls out, and he's the future. That'd be the best. That would be the best case scenario, that we already have him. It's just his body work doesn't show that that's the guy for us. And I don't think he's the guy, but he's got one more year to prove that he is. Rakib, thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Got to give Merrick credit for stepping aside. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, the Giants did it. I mean, I would have to think he stepped aside. I don't know what last night indicates whether he stepped aside or not, but I think the fact that they hired an outsider and obviously he got to choose his coach. Yeah, I applauded Mara this offseason. I think in the past he hired guys he was a lot more comfortable with. It didn't seem that was the case this year. So I applaud Mara for that.
Yes. Levi, thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Need O-line. Don't want to hear about O-line this year.
You're probably still going to hear about it.
Yeah. Probably.
But the tackles are no longer an issue. And yeah, I think you could build the rest of that offensive line, whatever you feel you need in the next upcoming drafts, not in the first round. You could get good centers and guards second, third, fourth round. So I am not going to be a guy next year. I'm almost 100% certain that is going to be talking about a first round lineman. I don't think I will be. I think next year you're going to focus on the quarterback if need be, wide receiver, positions on that, maybe a cornerback next year in the first round. It all depends on how the team plays out. But I think by getting the 2 bookend tackles, I don't think the Giants will be looking at a first round lineman next year.
Gotcha. Pimp, thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Man, the Chiefs are such a smart team. Once you have your elite quarterback, you rebuilt your offensive line, you then draft weapons to replace Hill. Let's build like the Chiefs. Well, we got their quarterback guy. We got Kafka, so maybe he brings some of that there.
But, I think there's multiple ways to build a team. And when you don't have of course, if you could find the elite quarterback, that's always step one, right? Because those guys don't grow on trees. If you could find a guy that's a top 4 or 5 talent, but you're not going to always find that. So if you can't do that, you do the other pieces first. You build the line to maximize your quarterback when you do find that guy that you feel is that guy that could put you over the top. Obviously, the Giants and every team in the NFL felt like there was no Pat Mahomes in this draft or Josh Allen in this draft or Joe Burrow in this draft. And it's why you do the other things. You build the line so you can get the most out of your quarterback when you feel you're fully committed to bringing that guy in. So there's multiple ways to building a football team.
Yep, agreed. Philly says, bull crap, I did do a video. I'm sorry. If your videos flood mine like Mark Holmes does, or you're doing a video every 40 minutes, I might have not got the notification on that one. But, I mean, when you say you're going to get every wide receiver in the NFL, you're going to get one of them right eventually. So kudos to you for getting A.J. Brown right out of the 48 wide receivers that you said you were going to get this offseason. So good job. Good job. Good job. Golf clap. By the way, I heard that Jordan Davis has that toe that you're talking about. Jordan Davis is sending you feet pics as we speak, Philly. Pimp, thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Also, the Ravens, just smart organizations, man.
The Ravens are incredible. The Ravens are incredible. Nobody drafts better than the Ravens.
No.
Going back to Ozzie News, nobody drafts better than the Ravens. They're a great team in terms of the draft.
LT, thank you, brother. Appreciate it. If Hurts is bad, new quarterback next year, the team is set. Agreed.
Yeah, I think you're in a similar situation to the Giants in that aspect.
Yeah.
Just based off the quarterback position. He's got to take a big step this year. If he doesn't, you draft in a quarterback.
Agreed. Levi, thank you for the super chat. DJ will be the best quarterback in the East. Watch.
I hope so.
Hope you're right.
He's certainly got a much better situation now. So
he definitely does. He definitely does. This is the best situation he's been in since he's been here.
Now, I am still a little skeptical of how quickly he's going to pick up a new scheme.
Right.
That may take 4 or 5 weeks. So I'm going to give him the year. I'm going to see what he can do throughout the year and evaluate at the end of the year. So we'll see. But he's definitely got a much better support system. He's definitely got a much better offensive play caller. That is undeniable. And he's going to have a much improved offensive line. Not to mention Barkley should be a much better player this year as opposed to last. And you have to figure Tony should improve, and Kenny Golladay can't be any worse.
Can't be worse.
So he should be. Daniel Jones should be better next year.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Cyberbot, thank you, brother. I personally would like to see Jaquan Brisker to the Giants. Your thoughts? No problem.
I like him a lot. I had a mock to the Giants in my 6th-round mock draft in the 2nd round, so I like him a lot.
No problems there.
He's among the 3 or 4 guys that I want with that pick, so I'd be happy. I'd be very happy with him.
Blake, thank you, brother. Appreciate it. If brains were dynamite, Eagles fans wouldn't have enough to blow their noses. Had to put emojis in so Eagles fans can understand. Yeah, we love our Eagles over here, don't we? Nick the Wick, thank you, brother. Another guy, Brisker.
He's a good player.
A lot of players that the fans in the chat want to get, which is
there's a lot of guys that I could have seen going in the 1st round that are still available,
right?
And he's one of them. So,
and could be perhaps why maybe the Giants do make a trade back and get an extra 2nd or an extra early 3rd round pick. It'll be interesting to see what Joe Shane and company do tonight.
Yeah.
Maybe, like I said, maybe they take one of their 3rds and a later pick and they move back up into the 2nd.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting. Raw Rebel, thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Eagles could have traded for Jerry Rice in his prime. It doesn't matter with a trash quarterback like Hurts. Even the Commander fans come in and dig the Eagles. I love it.
We'll see. We'll find out what he is this year.
That's just what it is. I love how everybody in the NFC East just hates the Eagles. That makes me smile as much as our draft. T Savage, thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Kingsley Enegbear in round 3. Enegbear? I'm sure I botched that name.
Yeah, I don't know much about him. I'm looking into him right now. He's a 6'4", 200. Whenever I click, you get the volume, so I apologize for that. I don't know much about him. I will look into it. I don't know much about him.
Yeah, me neither. Duncan, thank you, brother. Appreciate you guys rock, but I don't understand why Eagles fans try to seek approval from you guys when you always end up bombing us.
Huh? I don't know. I don't
you talking about the Eagles? It's because listen. I said this last night. We out trash talk the hell out of that team, and they kill us. When we're actually good and we're beating them, they'll go cry in a corner. They want nothing to do. When they can't hold this crap over our head about beating us all the time anymore, and we're actually the team in the NFC East, they won't want no part of it. They'll run away. We stand there and take all the punches. We've been taking the punches. We've been getting run over. And we're still here. We go nowhere. But it's going to change because now we have a train, baby. And that train is starting to run over everybody. You book that. Like the bookend tackles.
Yeah.
Ramon, thank you, brother. Appreciate it. If MW falls us in the 3rd round, would you take him? Malik Willis.
No.
You love Malik Willis.
I don't want a quarterback. I don't want a quarterback in this draft. Now, I'm not going to scream if they take it. At this point, I'm not going to be upset if they take a quarterback. I don't care if it's Willis. I don't care if whoever. I won't care. There's no financial commitment there. Do I think the picks would be better served elsewhere? 1,000%. But I'm not going to scream if they take Corral, if they take Willis, if they whoever.
Yeah.
But if you're asking me would I do it, no. I am not taking a quarterback in this year's draft. I paid Tyrod Taylor $6 million a year to be my backup. I have a lot of holes on this roster to fill with those picks. So my answer is no. Malik Willis is not the be-all, end-all. There's going to be quarterbacks in next year's draft that have just as much, if not more, upside than he does. Multiple quarterbacks. So my answer is no. I'm filling the rest of this roster.
Yep, agreed. Ben, thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Thoughts on a possible Odell return? New regime. And listen, I've been on record since he left saying I feel like he's going to be back here at the end of his career. Never say never.
Yeah, Giants fans got excited last night with that tweet when I guess he said the Giants made a good draft pick.
Yep.
Maybe he'll be back. And if he does, I'll be rooting my ass off for him.
Definitely. Mike, thank you, brother. Appreciate you. Last night was no damn medium Pepsi. Now it was
we got a large. We got a large.
There were 3 pints last night.
Yeah.
That was nice. And my Giants, thank you, brother. Appreciate it. I think we pick up a wide receiver in this draft, if not today.
Yeah, I don't want to say definitively we will, because I remember in the 2019, or was it 20? Maybe it was the 20. I don't know. There was a draft where we thought for sure they were going wide receiver, and they didn't. So I don't want to say for sure we're going to do that, but I think they're going to go BPA, but I definitely think wide receiver needs to be in consideration for the Giants.
Yeah.
It's a need. So we'll
Listen,
see.
last year we thought for sure we'd be going offensive line. Didn't do it
Yeah,
once.
we didn't take a lot. We didn't take a single lineman last year.
So who knows?
So we'll see.
Yeah. Ian, we got time. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. I would like Lucas or another O lineman or Dean today. Also, would you all be opposed to trading our second and fourth to get Dean? I'm high on him.
No, I don't want to. I don't want to trade.
Yeah, I wouldn't give up draft capital to get.
We're 3 picks away from getting him.
Yeah.
If he gets to us and we want him, we take him. But there's so many other good. There's so many good options on the board right now that
I'm going to go with a hot take and say Malik Willis is one of those first 3 today.
Yeah, listen. I think the 3 teams that are picking there have to consider Malik Willis, because it's a perfect fit. They all are in. Like the Vikings have a great supporting cast offensively, and he could sit and learn behind Cousins for a year if you like. Well, of course they have to like him.
Yep.
If they like him, the same thing with the Bucks and the Titans. Tannehill's probably not the long-term answer either.
Right.
So I think all 3 of those situations are perfect for a prospect like Malik Willis. He sits for a year behind a very good
team
quarterback that is not going to be there much longer. And if you like the guy, yeah, I think those 3 destinations are really good spots. Mm-hmm. And if they're not, they can still trade down for a team that does want him. So yeah, I don't. Again, it might not be Willis, it might be Corral, but I think a quarterback, very likely will go with one of those first 3 picks.
Yep, true.
Yeah,
good point. Could be any quarterback.
Yeah,
that's true. Raw, thank you, brother. Appreciate it. How will the Giants generate offense without weapons? Well, like I said, we got a big weapon in Evan Neal. We have a big weapon in Saquon Barkley. We have a weapon in Galladay. We have a weapon in Kadarius Toney. The problem is these guys got to stay healthy. We have to rely on the guys we have.
I don't think our weapons are bad.
Yeah, they just haven't been healthy.
They haven't been healthy. But I'm going to tell you the biggest weapon.
But I'm going to – go ahead, Chris.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm going to tell you go ahead. No, you go ahead. You go ahead.
Real quick, I was just going to say, you know how we generate offense? With the scheme.
Yeah. That's what I was going to say. That's our biggest offensive weapon that we added this year is the difference between Jason Garrett and Brian Dable.
Correct. And Mike Kafka.
A scheme goes a long way. I don't think the weapons on this team are incapable of being good football players. I mean, Kenny Galladay led the league in touchdowns 2 years ago? Saquon Barkley, I think, is going to be better this year. Kadarius Toney is a very capable weapon. I think the scheme is the biggest addition to this New York Giants offense. So I'm not saying we're going to be a great offense, but I definitely think we're going to be a better one.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think we can be worse.
Yeah,
I don't think we can be worse. But yeah, I mean, obviously we're not looking to put up 30 points a game. That's not going to happen. But if this defense is much improved and we can put up 20 points a game, 23 points a game, we might have a chance to win some games. We got a guy that can actually get to the quarterback now in Kayvon Thibodeau. We actually got a defensive coordinator that has no problem bringing pressure to a quarterback. So, and we don't know what they're doing today. They could add a Petre. They could add a Brisker. They could add a Nakobe Dean. They could add a lot of pieces to go on the defense to help the defense as well. And again, you get road graders up in front that Saquon Barkley can run with. We don't need to be an air Coryell attack, like the Chiefs or like the Chargers where we're throwing the ball all over the field. If we could get Saquon Barkley and, whoever else the running back is back there, whether that's James Cook or somebody else, if you get a nice combination of those guys and you're able to control the ball and move the ball down the field and score touchdowns, you might not have to score 30 points a game to win. So there's just a lot they can do.
I do. I think I'm not saying we have, elite.
It's not elite.
But I think we have playmakers.
Capable talent.
Yeah, I don't think we have no playmakers on this team. I think we definitely have some guys that could create big plays.
Yeah, they just health is a big issue.
Even Darius Slayton, who I don't like.
He's got to catch the ball,
but he's even capable of making big plays. So I'm excited to see this offensive scheme.
Exactly.
And the addition of Evan Neal should give these guys more time to run their routes, create bigger holes for Saquon Barkley. So I'm excited. That
was a weapon. That's a weapon
for sure.
Steel Curtain, thank you, brother. Really appreciate it. I'm so pissed at my Steelers today. We have a horrible offensive line, and we reached for a guy who's average at best. We're not adapting to the future. Offensive line and elite quarterbacks win. We were surprised you went Pickett. We were thinking Willis. If anybody, if you guys are going quarterback, But yeah, I don't remember. I think both Zion Johnson and Kenyon Green were gone when they drafted, or no?
Well, Linderbaum was definitely there.
Linderbaum is definitely there. Yes.
Yeah, I think the two guards were gone.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
Seal Kurt, thank you again, brother. I really appreciate it. We could have used that pick to build up our offensive line. We play in a division with Watson, Lamar, and Burrow. Pickett will never be that, and our offensive line is bad. Yeah, that's a really good point.
I thought you were going to go Linderbaum. That before the draft started. That's what I thought you were going to do. But of course, I wasn't going to be shocked if you went quarterback. If I was a Steelers fan, what I would say, I agree. Pickett is never going to be those guys. He doesn't have near the upside of any of those guys. I'm not a big fan of Pickett personally, but I do think Pickett's going to be successful there because I just trust your organization, if I'm a Steeler fan, to build the team the proper way and maximize the potential at the quarterback position. So I do think you guys are going to build a line. I do think Mike Tomlin's a really good head coach, and you guys have a great defense. So I think you will maximize the potential of the quarterback, but I agree with you. I would not be thrilled with taking Kenny Pickett there, or really any quarterback in this draft. If I was a fan of any team this year, I wouldn't have been thrilled with taking any quarterback. But if there was a spot in this draft where I think one of these quarterbacks is going to be successful, it was yours. Because the Steelers are going to build that team up.
Yeah.
They just know how to build a football team.
They know what they're doing.
I
They're
think
very
they'll
well
probably
run.
pick linemen in the second round, and they'll probably address it even more so in next year's draft.
Yeah, they're a very well-run organization.
Not to mention, I don't think Pickett's going to play. I think they signed Trubisky for a reason. He's going to sit. He's going to learn for the year, and you'll give him a better opportunity to succeed next year.
Philly, that train is going to run your toes over. That's what that train's going to do. Run over your toes. Nerf Swag, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. He says, super excited. Neil and Tibbs, you guys rock. Let's go Giants.
Appreciate it, man. Yeah, man, dude, that was the dream. I think for most Giant fans, if that was the dream. If you would have asked them before the draft started, I would say like 80% of Giants fans, that would have been their ideal first two picks.
I agree. Reality Stone, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I can't envision a scenario where I would give DJ $40 million a year. I would want to win a Super Bowl. He will never be worth that kind of money. I'll bet my life on it.
And if he's not, eventually you move on. And, I think if the Giants come to that conclusion that he is not worth that, I think the worst case scenario is it becomes a Kirk Cousins situation. If the Giants are kind of in limbo for a few years and there's no quarterbacks worth, that you feel like you can't trade up to get, and there's no quarterbacks worth, you never force a quarterback pick, but you could do what Washington did with Cousins. Your franchise tag him for a couple of years if he improves. You're not going to do it if he sucks next year. But if he improves and he's at least a pretty good quarterback, you kick the can down the road for a couple of years with franchise tags. That's worst case scenario.
Exactly.
But I think he has a lot to prove before you're willing to commit, like you said, a multi-year $40 million commitment to him.
Yeah. Slim Shady, thank you for the super chat. Appreciate it. What are your thoughts on the Tampa Bay and Jags trade? I don't mind it this year. Not really a stacked draft class. Yeah, I think Tampa Bay knows what they're doing.
Yeah.
I don't think there was anything wrong.
I don't remember what the exact trade was. I know that they came up and took pick 27. I can't remember what the Bucs got, but I don't mind you guys trading back at all. Yeah.
Especially there. That's not really a huge deal. You guys are pretty much set. So you're just looking for filler pieces at this point. Reality Stone, thank you, brother. Appreciate it. You want to win a Super Bowl, your quarterback needs to be top 5 or to top 12 and under a cheap contract. Daniel Jones should be gone next year, barring an act of God.
We'll see. Yeah, well, I mean, like I said, he has to take a big jump next year, and it's very hard to win Super Bowls if you don't have a top 7, 8 quarterback. Once they're getting paid, what quarterbacks get paid in the NFL? I mean, complete agreement there. So we'll see. I mean, yes, are there instances where non-elite quarterbacks win? Of course. Nick Foles did it with the Eagles, but the Eagles had a great surrounding roster. Jimmy Garoppolo came damn close, right? He made the Super Bowl, and he was this close to beating Mahomes, and he was this close to going to the Super Bowl this year. Yeah. But again, a great surrounding roster. To have sustained success and to give yourself an opportunity year in and year out to win a Super Bowl, you need a top 8 quarterback. That's just the facts. Are there instances? Sure. But consistently, to be able to win a Super Bowl, you need Burrow. You need Herbert. You need Pat Mahomes. You need Josh Allen to give yourself a chance year in and year out. Nobody's going to debate that. That's just the fact of the matter. So I agree with you.
John, thank you, brother. Appreciate it. We still have one more Butterfingers wide receiver left. Trade Slayton to Green Bay for a 6th or 7th. And use that pick to move up and draft the punter that kicks 70 yards.
I don't think I mean, maybe we will trade Slayton, but I don't know if I'm in love with the idea of trading Slayton because our wide receivers are so, and I don't love Slayton, okay? But our wide receivers are so injury rid. I mean, is it really worth getting a 6th-round pick for Darius Slayton when Kenny Golladay is, there's a good chance he could get hurt. Tony has shown that he could get hurt. Sterling Shepard is hurt going in. I think I'd rather keep Slayton as depth if I'm getting a 6th or a 7th-round pick. And if Slayton steps in and plays relatively well, maybe you would probably get a comp pick higher than that if he had a pretty good year, if those guys went down with injuries. So I don't think I'm in love with trading Slayton if that's what I'm going to get for him.
Yeah, I think we'd be better suited to keep him if we're getting rid of something. They're getting that little of a return. You might as well keep him. He's not costing anything. So
I don't love him at all. And I don't think he's going to be in the long-term plans, but
he's probably better than a 6th-round pick.
Yeah, I would just keep him at that point.
Yeah. Michael, thank you for the $2. Boom! Really appreciate it, my good man. Thank you so much. New York Giants 26. Thank you, brother Chris. The edit I replied with on Twitter got me hyped.
Let's go, man. Yes, it did. Let's go, man.
Isaiah, thank you, brother. Really appreciate it. What do you guys think about a defensive tackle in the 2nd or 3rd? There's some good ones available. Winfrey, Jones, Leal, Mathis, and Hall.
Yeah, Leal. I don't know if it's pronounced Leal or Leal, however it's pronounced. That was a guy that a lot of people liked. A lot of people had him going in the 1st round like 2 months ago. He's a guy that has a lot of upside. He's an interesting guy. I don't think at 36, but if he's there at 67, I like him. That's one guy that I've looked into that I like. And I do think interior defensive line is still a possibility. Probably not at 36, but at 67, at 81, I think it's less likely after you found out that we extended Dexter Lawrence on the 5th-year option because he's going to be here now for 2 more years. But it's certainly still a possibility for sure. So I'm open to that being a possibility more so in the 3rd round, not the 2nd.
Yep, agreed. Nick, thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Baddog make a bet with Philly 500 with sweep them. I'm never making that bet. I don't care how good we are and how bad they are. That doesn't happen. When I was growing up, we were the best team in football in the NFC from like 86 to 90, whatever. We could never beat them, never sweep them. They always freaking beat us, always, which is why I hate them so damn much. But yeah, I'm not betting. And the Eagles are still way better than we are. Let's not kid ourselves. I like to poke fun at them. I mean, they're our rivals, so the trash talk in the NFC East is awesome. But looking at that roster, they're a better roster than we are. And we have a whole new regime. We have a lot of young players. They have to get acclimated to one another. The Eagles, they added a really big piece that they needed in A.J. Brown. They're better than we are right now. I don't know how the hell we won a game last year. The bet I made with them last year, I'm just glad I won. I didn't want to have to wear an Eagles jersey. I can tell you that.
Yeah.
Danny, thank you, brother. Appreciate it. If Shane were smart, he would have given Jones 4 years, $120 million right now. Next year, after he puts up Josh Allen numbers, Chris won't be laughing anymore.
I always love
Josh Allen numbers this year.
I always love when people come at me like we both agree on that. Jones, like, why is it Chris won't be laughing anymore? Baddog's laughing just as much as me at the proposition of giving him a contract like that. But as far as I'm sorry, Danny. And I'm not saying if he plays good, give him the contract. And if it costs us an extra $6-7 million a year because the market went up, so be it. I'll gladly eat my words. He's done nothing. I'm sorry. And I think we both fully admit there are variables as to why he's done nothing. And we'll find out if those improved variables show us what he could be with the offensive line and with the better offensive scheme and with some of these guys hopefully staying healthy, his offensive weapons. I understand they've completely set him up for failure. Most level-headed Giants fans are not debating what John Mara said. They set him up for failure, which is exactly why we shouldn't have drafted him in the first place. Because we weren't set up to have him succeed, which is exactly why we shouldn't have drafted a quarterback this year. But that being said, that's blind faith if you throw the checkbook at Daniel Jones. The guy's won, like 12 games in 3 years?
26.
The guy's not shown any consistency, whether it be on the football field or the ability to stay healthy. Anybody that gave him a contract like that should be fired on the spot. On the spot. I'm sorry. And I'm rooting for Daniel Jones. And I do think he can improve. But you got to show me something before I give you money like that.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And he's not Joe Shane's guy. Hot take. Danny forever hates Daniel Jones and just wants people to bash him. So comes out with that for you to
Maybe you're right. I don't know.
hot take. They like to hear that. So hot take, they're like, oh, I'm going to come out here and just say, I just want Chris to just rip Daniel Jones. So I'm going to put this comment. Hot take. Hot take. That's what I think. Blockiana, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. If we can find a way to keep Bradbury, our defense will be elite. They might have no choice but to keep Bradbury, but we'll know by the end of today, I think.
We'll see. We might be forced to keep Bradbury, but you have to backload salaries to do it. You might extend Bradbury. I mean, to redistribute the salary. We'll see.
Pimp, thank you, brother. Appreciate it. I'm a Chris. Don't take a quarterback, please. I'll wait until 2026 if it means we get a top 5-6 talent. I'll wait with a stopgap for a few years. No quarterback this year.
Pimp, it's exactly what we did with Kerry Collins.
Yeah,
that's what Kerry Collins was when we first brought him in. He was a stopgap. It was just that we had a good surrounding roster and we had success. We went to a Super Bowl, but sometimes that's the route you take. You don't force quarterback picks. Whether Daniel Jones is that stopgap after this year or whether it's somebody else, I don't know. But I am not in the business of forcing quarterback picks year after year after year. That's what the worst teams do. You wait until you're in love with the guy. Eli Manning became the guy we fell in love with. We did what we had to do to go up and get him. That's the proper approach, in my opinion, with the quarterback position.
Agreed. Slim Shady Canes, my man. What up, buddy? Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Hope you're doing well, sir. Tampa Bay got the Jags 2nd, 4th, and 6th. They won't take a quarterback. They got Trask last year. The closest thing to a need we have are probably cornerback. There's a lot of good ones there.
Yeah. I also heard that you guys may need interior offensive line help, but you know your team better than I do.
Yeah. I don't know. They did take Trask last year. I don't know if Trask is the future. I mean, I forgot when they took him.
I think he was like a 3rd or 4th.
Yeah. So it's not like they're financially committed to him either.
Yeah.
So. But yeah, you would definitely know
they'd have to really like Willis. If they don't really like him, they're not going to take him.
Oh, of course not. Of course not.
Yeah.
John, thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Slayton is a $2.5 million cap hit this year. Not worth keeping.
Again, I don't like Darius Slayton. I don't want Darius Slayton here long term, but is 2.5 really bad for Slayton when you look at what these other receivers are getting?
Right. AJ Brown.
Look at the wide receiver market.
A year.
The wide receiver market's insane. Christian Kirk got $22 million a year.
Right.
Is $2.5 million really a lot for a 4th wide receiver? Because that's what Slayton is to me.
Yeah.
For 1 year. I don't think it's that bad. I really don't. I don't.
Yeah, he's showing that he's got to catch the ball.
Yeah, I don't like him.
Right.
I don't like him. But I don't know. I don't know if I'm rushing to trade the guy to save $2 million when our wide receiver room is injury riddled as it is.
Yeah.
And let's see, maybe we draft a couple of wide receivers and I say, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. That's a possibility too.
Let's see what we do in the draft the next couple of days.
That's a possibility too. Brian, thank you, brother. Appreciate DJ getting that Baddog celebrating with the scotch. I hope he does. I hope I have to go through a whole bottle of that this year with the Giants winning. I hope I do.
Yeah.
I hope I do. Blockiana, thank you so much. She says, they're not better than us. Their quarterback is trash. You're right about that.
Let's go.
Their quarterback is trash. But like I said, even when we were better than them, they always find a way to beat us. One game. We can't win in Philadelphia. I don't know what the hell it is.
It's going to change soon. It's going to change soon.
I hope. Danny, thank you. Appreciate it. But Eli was worth $30 million after 2011. Stop it, Chris. Eli had a few good years and tricked us. We should have got rid of him back in 2014. Come on. May I? 2 things about that. And then, Chris, I'll let you have your way. Eli won 2 Super Bowl MVPs after.
Stop there. It's over. Stop there.
But we should have got rid of him in 2014. You do realize Eli Manning had the 2 best statistical seasons of his career in 2014 and 2015. If you want to say that we shouldn't have given him the contract in 2017, I understand that. But 2014, he had a great year. He had a better year in 2015. We had no defense. But yeah, Eli was. Daniel Jones wins 2 Super Bowls. I'll pay him $45 million a year.
What are we talking about?
And again, why do we keep comparing Eli Manning to Daniel Jones? Eli Manning is a first ballot Hall of Famer, the greatest quarterback in the history of the Giants, a 2-time Super Bowl MVP. There's a handful of quarterbacks that won 2 Super Bowl MVPs. He always came through in the clutch, and the man was a winner. You know,
If Daniel Jones wins us 2 Super Bowls, I'll gladly eat a couple of years on the back end for him giving us 2 Super Bowls. Don't compare the two. It's two completely different situations. Two completely different situations. And like you said, Eli Manning was second in league in touchdowns in 2015. It's not like the guy was horrible. The guy made the playoffs in 2016. I mean, was he worth that contract after the fact? No. He won us a Super Bowl, and he's one of the top 3 quarterbacks in football that year. So what are we talking about?
I know. I don't understand the comparisons.
What the hell are we talking about?
I don't know how they compare Daniel Jones to Eli Manning. I don't get it. I don't know if it's because it's his predecessor or what. I don't understand this. Or after Eli was his predecessor.
When you win Super Bowls, you get paid.
Right. They all do.
You get paid when you win Super Bowls.
Dak didn't even win a Super Bowl. He got paid.
And he carried us that year.
Yeah, he did. Pencil Man, thank you, brother. Any guess on comp picks for next year?
I think it's going to be a 5th round for Ingram, and I think we're getting a 7th round comp as well. From what I read, for I think it was Keon Crossan. That's what I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be a 5th and a 7th.
Yep. Zach Attack, thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Good to see the boys back. How do y'all feel about the rumors of Tim being a turd? And do you expect the quarterback being selected in the 2nd? As always, appreciate the content. Whatever. The Giants liked him enough to take him at 5th. We're not taking a quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm going to trust the New York Giants evaluation, and they're not buying. They're not buying into that. If they were willing to give up the 5th overall pick to draft the guy, so
yeah,
I'm going to trust Joe Shane. I'm going to trust the Giants in their evaluation that they don't think he's going to be an issue in terms of his personality or taking off plays or whatever. And we'll see. We'll see. But I'm excited. I think the physical talent is there for sure. And I think I hope and think he will be a very good Giant. So we'll see.
Yes. Mike, thank you for the super chat. Appreciate it. Danny Forever, Eli Basher, who doesn't see offensive line fails. The question I would ask these Daniel Jones supporters is, what have you seen out of him that makes you believe he should be the future quarterback of the Giants? What do you actually see from him that makes you think he's our franchise quarterback? What have you seen from him?
And the other thing I'll say is it's easy to be hindsight and say that, oh, Eli struggled the last couple of years. We're asking when they signed the contract. When they signed the contract extension. I could easily give you the reasoning for why the New York Giants gave Eli Manning money. He carried the team in 2011. He won a Super Bowl. Okay? So there is a clear incentive to give him a contract extension. Today, what is the incentive and the reason to give Daniel Jones the contract extension?
Right.
Anybody with a brain knows why the New York Giants paid Eli Manning. There's no reason as of now to pay Daniel Jones.
Right.
None.
Right. That's my point. What has he shown you?
In hindsight, Eli struggled the last couple of years. He wasn't worth the contract. We know why he got the contract. Right. Why would Daniel Jones get the contract?
Yeah, that's my question. What has he done to deserve the contract? What do you look at and go, yep, give him $30 million a year?
His rookie year. He had 19 fumbles and he won 4 games? That is worth $40 million. Get the hell out of here.
He won, yeah, I think he won 4 games. 3, something like that, but whatever. It was
3.
He was 3. He was 3 and 9. Yeah. So yeah, I don't see it. I don't see it. Cushmaster, I saw that. He doesn't understand that we muted the mics for our video, like recording a video. He's in on our stream, and even people in our stream are like, you got no sound. So he didn't know, he didn't know that we had muted the mic so that we could record a video reaction. But regardless, I mean, Mark Holmes doesn't know what he's doing. The man makes 60 videos a day, uses a keto diet and gains weight. He never I don't have any hair, but if I did, I would comb it. The Cowboys are trash. The man has a man crush on Dak Prescott like nobody I've ever seen. Then they lost last year. Everybody in his room was screaming at Dak for being stupid. He's like, well, at least he fought back and they tried. Yeah. You want to talk about somebody? I see some crazy people defending Daniel Jones. Nobody defends Dak more than Dak. He loves Dak.
Yeah.
So any plays with a freaking doll from Major League. So that's my thoughts on Mark Holmes, who would never, ever, ever want to try to talk trash to us. I always say the best content on his channel is when he snipes our video or Philly 500's video. That's the best content on his channel. Using us or Philly 500.
He's a reaction channel.
Mark's a good dude. I like Mark. Junior, thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Can we please stop with this crap about Malik?
It'll end after today.
Yeah, it will.
It'll end after today.
It will. But the Daniel Jones thing will live on.
I hope it does. I want Daniel Jones to get the extension because that means he played great. So
exactly.
Let's hope he has a great year.
Exactly.
Even if you think Daniel Jones is great, he's going to get paid.
Yeah.
He's going to get paid. So why even have the discussion right now?
Exactly.
He's going to prove you right. If he's as great as you think he is, he's going to prove you right this year because you got a hot shot offensive coordinator. You got your right tackle, and he's going to have a great year, and he's going to get paid.
Yeah.
And
it's not like we dumped him. It's not like he's not a giant right now. It's not like he doesn't have
he's still
another
chance. We didn't get rid of the guy.
Right.
So
it's not like he doesn't have another chance to prove
he's going to prove to be worth that money. If you are right, he's going to prove to be worth that money, and we're going to give it to him.
Right. Exactly. Let's get 600 likes up in here with 20 away. Hit the subscribe, ring the bell again. More importantly, make sure you go into the description. Subscribe to the Entertainment Talking Sports. The link is right there. We'll be live there in about 6
hours. Yeah, a little less.
For day 2 of the NFL draft. Now I want to miss it. We're going to have a lot of fun. The conversations will continue about Daniel Jones, Malik Willis, I'm sure. And, of course, Cowboys and Eagles, as always. As Joe Shane, like I said, bought a new mic to drop it again today. Blake, thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Mark Holmes also said, send New York Giants a 5th for Kadarius Toney.
No, we'll keep him for that.
Yeah. I like them trying. They were so pissed at what we did. Oh, it was great. Watching the Cowboys and Eagles fans get so irate at the fact, salty, that we actually did the draft right because they're so used to us screwing it up for years, and they're going to get a good laugh at what we do. And this to the Cowboys, they're the laughing stock of the NFC in the draft this year. Big time. Orphanage Ground, thank you, brother. Number 1 takes Mark.
No one takes.
Oh, no one takes Mark seriously. Thank you. He built like a U.S. postal box. I like Mark, but if Mark is going to talk shit to me, I'm going to give it back to him. And you don't want that noise. I'll wreck him, and he knows it. And that's the whole thing. But listen, guys, it's almost 1:00. We're getting out of here. We had over 1,000 people in here pretty much all morning, which is awesome. Really appreciate all the support. We had a hell of a draft. And like I said, it's only going to get better tonight. So make sure that you guys join us tonight on Chris's channel for sure. And appreciate it. And I'm sorry, Jerry, you didn't need a super chat again. But thank you, brother. Appreciate it. He says, y'all missed my super chat. Let me go back here. I'm sorry. I think I did that yesterday where I brought it up and I took it off of there. Or I kind of skipped. I'm sorry, man. JR, thank you, brother. Appreciate it. What up, boys? It feels good to be feeling good about this team. Definitely. Bradbury for a 3rd rounder. Would like to see secondary and a tight end today. If we get a 3rd rounder for Bradbury, that'd be amazing.
Yeah, I don't think we will at this point, but I hope we do because at this point, every team knows we're desperate to trade him.
Yeah.
So I hope. I mean, that'd be great if we could get a 3rd rounder for Bradbury. Yeah. I don't think we will, but we might get something for him. I don't think we'll get a 3rd rounder.
Yeah, we'll see. That's why you got to tune in tonight. Make sure you guys tune in tonight. Let's get just as big of a crowd in there tonight as we did yesterday.
Yeah,
that'd be awesome. Zach Attack, thank you, brother. Appreciate it. The Cowboys will regret this past decade or be taking this past decade for granted when they were clearly the best team in the division. Yeah, they messed up. They're starting to fall apart, and I love it. I can't wait to watch them.
The Cowboys have always been a pretty consistently good team, but they just haven't cashed in.
Right. Good.
They haven't cashed in, which is
Screw
what
them.
you play for.
Screw them. 19. Yeah. I was 19 when they meant something. I'm 46 almost.
Yeah.
Cowboy fans, put that in your pipe and smoke it. I was 19. I wasn't even in my 20s. I was a teenager, and here I am heading for damn near 50, and y'all can't win a Super Bowl. And they're like, oh, you guys can't catch up. Yeah, I don't really care about that. You haven't won a Super Bowl in 27 years. It's pathetic. It's pathetic. That's horrible. Win one in this millennium. My God, it's ridiculous. But yes, Chris, any final thoughts before we get out of here today?
Yeah, I'm just reading the chat. Bookend tackles, who I love. He hit the nail on the head. That's exactly what I feel about Daniel Jones right there, by the way. The O-line DJ has played behind has been trash and unfair. Spot on so far. But it is what it is. You can't extend the quarterback unless you know for sure. And at this point, we don't know. And we'll hopefully find out this year. But yeah, that's exactly how I feel about it. Life in the NFL, life in general is not always fair.
Right.
Like you said, there are several quarterbacks you could go back and say if they would have inherited the situation that Eli Manning inherited when he first took the New York Giants job, which he inherited a very good situation. Nobody would deny that. He had one of the best offensive lines in football. They had a great running attack with Tiki Barber. They had some really good weapons, Shockey, Toomer, Burris. No one's denying it. Had Daniel Jones inherited that, maybe he does become a great quarterback. I don't know, but it's not about that. You can't live in the what-if scenario.
Right.
And this year, hopefully, Daniel Jones does become that great quarterback. And I'm going to pray he does. I don't want to draft a quarterback. But yeah, I think he hit the nail on the head right there. It's you can't keep putting blind faith into a quarterback. At some point, you need to see results. You see it all the time. Teams move on from quarterbacks that failed them. The New York Jets failed Sam Darnold. Mm-hmm. Every Jet fan in the world would tell you that.
Yep.
There's been several other quarterbacks where the quarterbacks were failed. Several other destinations. Mitch Trubisky was failed with the Chicago Bears. Their offensive line was dreadful. Their offensive play calling was dreadful. That bottom line is, if you're going to invest 15 to 20% of your cap in a quarterback, you need to see a reason to do so. Right. And so far, we have not seen that. Hopefully this year we do.
Yep, exactly. You can't pay something on potential.
Yeah.
You just can't pay and hope. You can't be like, I'll give the money. Let's hope that he develops into what we think he can. Like if you were going to get an operation, would you pay a doctor and say, I hope that he can cure me? He hasn't proven that he can cure anybody else of whatever I have, or my ailment. But I'm going to hope this time because supposedly he can do it, or maybe he can do it. You're going to pay that guy. You're going to go to somebody and go, yeah, I'd rather go somewhere else. So no thanks. I'm good with Daniel Jones not getting the extension. We don't need to give him the extension. He has a year to prove it. He can still get paid. He's still a Giant. They didn't cut him. They didn't trade him. They didn't do anything like that.
We wanted them to do. We wanted them to do that.
Right. So
let's see what he does.
Chrono, thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Outstanding picks last night for the Giants, fellas. Thank you, buddy.
But yeah, outside of that, man, again, always love doing this. We're going to be live on my channel at probably like 6:40, 6:45. Yep. I'll set up the stream. Definitely coming over there for that. We'll talk about the draft, obviously. We'll stream the draft. We'll talk about the players that the New York Giants are bringing in. I may have a video. We'll see. My voice is kind of shot recapping yesterday. But if not, obviously, I'll talk about it on my channel tonight. I'm really looking forward to it. And we appreciate all you guys, man. I appreciate all you guys. You guys have been, supporting the streams this whole week. We love doing this. Love talking to you guys. And really looking forward to seeing the New York Giants get tonight. But Baddog, looking forward to tonight.
Definitely, my man.
Thanks for having me on, and let's see who the Giants get at 36.
Let's go. All right, guys. So go get some lunch, go get some rest, and come back tonight, 6:40, 6:45-ish on the Entertainment Talkin Sports channel for the Entertainment Talkin Sports. It is a bad diggy dizzle. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon. We'll see you in about 6 hours. We going. Let me do this before we do.